Are we live? I absolutely think so. Pav and your mum is on a 5-stream streak. Thanks, Pav, mate. Aren't you generous and kind to me? You'll notice the name of this stream is, as I said before, F1 Hate Watch. Because I'm not excited at all for this viewership. Mic volume up a tad. Should I just scream? And then you tell me when the scream's good enough. Is that better? You tell me, mate, you tell me. Now, the camera was also fine before, but I guarantee it's moved now. Also, the timing app seems to be working. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Bosh! That was fine, actually. Look at me go. Yeah, this is working today, it seems. The whole timing app. Whoopsie-doo. I'm not excited for this Grand Prix at all, hence why I've called it the F1 Spanish GP Hate Watch, because I think it's going to be dreadful. I'll get some fresh overlays down for you soon. Thank you, mate. I've still got Le Mans on, by the way, on my other screen yet. I haven't changed over to F1 yet. Because I'm delaying it for as long as I can to accept the fact that we have another Formula 1 Grand Prix. And Pav, how are you doing? And any viewership here? How's everyone doing? Before we get into what it's probably going to be, I'm going to be professional. I've got Le Mans on TV as well. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, even this Le Mans one is quite dull. We're gonna try the professional route like we do with MotoGP for the start, and then if I get bored after 3 laps, then we're gonna go into the hate watch. I think that's fair. I think that's valid. Should we do predictions early? Why not? RTL making a comeback. Oh, I'm gonna add that to the stream title actually. Hashtag RTL. Hell yeah. Edit stream info. Hashtag RTL. What if the thing is like something like it? F1 Hate Watch is live. Hell yeah. Sorry, just editing the stream stuff. RTL could make a comeback because I feel like I'm going to be bored again very quickly from one. But it's already, as I said, it's already a better start than last week because this is working. Because the cars went round, I could view them going to the grid. Already a positive, by the way. That's how the depths of how bad last week was. Predictions: Lewis, Piastri, Max. Firstly, you think anyone's winning? In your prediction, is a Mercedes finishing the race? Because if they are, and you think none of them's been on the podium, you're absolutely off your head. Second, Piastri be second. He's starting 7th. He's got no pace. Wild. Max in 3rd. Absolutely wild. The Red Bull's a dog. So I think you've done that prediction just to try and shake it up a little bit, which I respect. But I think you're very wrong. Both Mercedes are ahead of P1. Oh, so you're 3rd, 4th, 5th. Okay, that's how we're doing it. That's sad that that's how we're doing it now, but here we are. Big up Will Stevens, by the way, trying to win GT3, LMP2 and Hypercar. He might be the first man to ever do that. Will bloody Stevens. I mean, I don't think he will. I think he's playing into Toyota's hands quite well. I'm going to take over P1. Yeah, let's stick the F1 on the channel, shall we? Oh, the darts is on. Should we just put the darts on instead? I feel like that's going to be more entertaining. The Darts World Cup. Sky Sports F1, here we go. God, I'm just already hating it already. They're on the grid. Oh, there's a lot of work going on in that Mercedes car, actually. Is that Russell or is that Antonelli? It's Antonelli. Sup, dickhead. Sup, Scott Speed. That caught me by surprise then, because I was expecting to see Nilo. Hey, watch, here we go. Yes. I did just see what's happening with the Mercedes. They've gotten their nose and everything off of Antonelli's car. Something to do with the brakes. I think they're changing the brakes. But yes, I need another screen for Le Mans as well for the end of that. How are we all? Pavs gave his prediction. When we say predictions, lads, Pavs correctly done it. It was his own idea anyway. You see Pavs put, if you can see it, 1, 2, 3. That's 3rd, 4th, 5th. So tell me your 1, 2, 3 prediction, excluding the Mercedes 1 and 2. Also, Scott, how was F1 yesterday? Dead or lifeline? See, I don't like the grid book, but they're talking to Djokovic. Nick's in 5, hello flag. I saw that, and I saw the celebrations afterwards. New York went mad. Ben, prediction: Lewis, Kimi, Max, Russell, Lando. Right, that's an absolutely crazy prediction. You think one, anyone's beating a Mercedes. Two, you think Max is gonna be again. Have put Max third. I don't understand where you're getting this confidence from. Gabriel H. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Up the Morocco. It's actually quite a decent game as well. Correct, Stan's hating. I'm not hating, I'm just being realistic. I don't understand why you lot think a car is going to beat a Mercedes over a race. Oh, Djokovic is there. Let's speak to Djokovic. 24-time Grand Slam singles tennis champion. Stan being realistic, it was hating. Is that what, if that's what hating means nowadays, then maybe I am hating. Rosberg just tried to interview Hamilton on the grid. Apparently Hamilton was quite polite in turning him down, but Hamilton win. Yeah, Alonso's there. I saw Alonso said, Pav, I have no idea what that means, what you've just done. A cheer. I don't know what that is. No, and now I think it's coming up. Thank you for Pav and your mum to getting us started. Oh, we have a little cheer counter thing. I don't know what these things do, but do them. Wicked. That's cool. Absolutely no idea, but cool. What was I saying? Twitch bits. Oh, yeah, keep doing it. They want us to get 1,000. Let's get 1,000. I need to clearly make a thing where it says 1,000. Cost me £2.90. What? No way. That's a meal deal. So I owe you a BJ fair. Valid. That's fair. Routine. What was I saying? Before you distracted me with the bits? Oh yeah, Alonso said, before they go to the grid, they do the thing in a truck where they go round the lap. I saw they did that earlier, and Alonso came out. F1 pay well for 8-hour doom scrolling. Yes, they do. I saw they took Alonso out of one of those stands, and he said he'd rather watch the race from here because it's more entertaining than being in the car. And I was like, great comment for an F1 driver to make. Sums up the sport right now. Is Alonso going to score points? No. No, he won't. I need the Le Mans stream. I need the Le Mans stream. Give me my Le Mans stream. Thank you. Corvette Leon, I just saw that. The 27 Aston was up front, and I saw they stopped earlier, hence why they're now 18th in class. God, the Spanish F1 was a long one, isn't it? I always forget in F1 because it's so rarely used in Formula 1. Wow. Gripping. Who's excited for this Grand Prix? I'm so thrilled to be back streaming F1. Yeah, show me Domenicali more. Oh, they retired? Oh, I thought he came back out. Okay, fair enough. I thought they came back out. Jacques Villeneuve's a punish there. He raced earlier in the Porsche Super Cup thing. He took someone out, I saw. I quite like Rosberg's outfit as well. That's the standards we are here. I'm liking it. I gave it 300 bits. That's like something for this race. I'm thrilled for this race. I'm absolutely splendidly happy to be professionally commentating this. If I'm not going to be professional at all, I'm going to try and be professional for the run to turn 1, and then should we make a bet? Name the 3 worst starts, because I've realised at a Formula 1 start now, it's just as important to watch the worst starts as the best starts, and I guarantee Max will be one of them because he can't get off the line. So Max will be an awful start. I reckon. Who we got? I reckon Hulk's going to have a dreadful start as well. And Norris. No, Norris isn't in the Mercedes. Ribena puncher in the Aston. Oh, I read that so wrong. I read that as Ribena. Riberous puncture in the Aston. I read it as Ribena. Is Jax actually trying to look like a doctor? Oh, the poor Aston, the poor V12. I'm surprised, yeah, Jack's raced this morning in the Porsche Super Cup. I'm surprised he's actually a pundit for this one, but I don't know what he's done with that hair. I thought he was going to let it go at this point. He did let it go at some point, and it suddenly magically grown back like that. Oh, the poor Aston. Was it running top 10 as well? It was, wasn't it? No, adverts. I don't like the fact that there's no adverts during Le Mans. I really dislike that. Oh, so George Russell's back on pole position. He was excited for that. We know the nickname we give him in this stream called the Head Prefect. Who's excited for him to start the race from pole position? I'm thrilled. I'm really, really thrilled. Has summer been Russell? Well, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Hamilton leads into turn 1 because of we all know the Ferrari starts strong. And Leclerc will make his way up. Leclerc could have been fine for pole, I think, if he didn't stick it in the wall again. Who's losing power first? That's a good bet. So, okay, so who's going to have the worst start and who's going to lose power first? Lawson. See, I can see it being Mercedes engine again. Just don't know what one. Piastri, yeah, maybe for some, I can just see a Mercedes engine going pop. I hope it's the silver ones, but Gasly. It didn't matter. I opened to slow this weekend, 13th and 14th. 6 retirements this race, mark my words. Oh, and then people call it an entertaining race because people retired. Great. Or Antonelli. I mean, it would be funny. Listen. It would be funny if Antonelli broke down. And I think, you know, it's kind of for the championship fight, it's kind of needed, isn't it? Not rooting against him. I'm just saying I need to be entertained by Formula 1, and it's just not going to happen. What was the other time as last race? Was it 8? So we're going for 6. Both Norris and Russell have had it already, right? Yes. Norris has broke down 2 or 3 times this year. Same as Max. Max will got the Ford engine. Russell broke down in Canada. Piastri's broke down as well. Anthony, I think, is the only one out of those in the race to not break down yet. The Mercedes engine is quick, but it's not the most reliable. Da 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 da. Oi, oi, oi. Why does Russell wear a headband under the helmet like he's who was the blonde winger who won the Ballon d'Or? Oh my god, Nedved. That's the one. Because of his makeup. It just looks a bit odd, doesn't it? Nedved, yeah, Pavel, you knew exactly what I was on about. Nedved. What's a name, Nedved? What does Nedved do now? Does he work for UEFA or something? Pavel Nedved. Have a great Pavel. I mean, that was the OG days of football, wasn't it? Nedved, Ronaldo, R9 Ronaldo. Russell takes time in flamboyant musical. He would suit a lead role in that. He's one of the. It'd be the ones where you get the actors who cannot break out of that genre. He'd star in High School Musical and he'd stay there. He did play Juventus, Nedved. Correct, won the Ballon d'Or as well there. And that Aston Martin in Le Mans has still not made it back to the pits with the puncture. That's gutting for them. Oh, it's 009. I was still playing the Bond games, so I've just learnt a bit about 009. Russell would be great in an advert for Autos. Russell's just made for TV, isn't he? He's just made for TV. Russell and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Oh, that's a shout. I've not heard that for a long time, the Technicolor Dreamcoat. No, I can see Russell being like... He looks like an animation. Now that I've just thought of that. He looks more like an animation than anything else. He'd be like a knight in Shrek. Would he shout. Shout, absolute shout. I need to pay for a thing to go live on YouTube as well. I'm just not paying for it yet because I don't want to pay things. Aston Martin has made the pits again, by the way. I'm watching Le Mans, the 009. That's a long lap. That's been like 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes. 1 hour left of Le Mans. Whose ridiculous idea was it to clash F1 and Le Mans? So stupid. Boycott YouTube. Well, yeah. It's so stupid to clash. Normally, Le Mans is on when F1's at Canada. So you watch Le Mans. Hype for this utter Charlie rap. Correct. Yes, normally when Le Mans on, F1's in Canada. So you watch Le Mans, you watch Canada in the evening. Rah, rah, rah. What genius put it at the same time as the Barcelona? So it qualifying clash with Le Mans. And then the end of the Le Mans clashes with an hour into the race. So stupid. Really is stupid. Oh, we got Chandok in there. We got, I think Harry Benjamin's commentating the Sky F1 this weekend, which is even worse, respectfully. I'm not a fan. Purely because they said Monaco's entertaining. Now, I know they're being paid to promote the sport, but I like to hear honesty. Thank you very much. What World Cup games are on today? Don't let this distract you from the fact that Hector is going to be running those Honda Civics with a spoon engine. On top of that, he just went into Harry's and bought the 3.266 turbos of Norris and Magic exhaust system. There you go, I've said it now, Pav. I'm not going to say it again. You want the World Cup games today? Tonight. I don't like that it's tonight. That really annoys me. So proud of no stutter. Listen, I was just having a bad day with the stutter, right? Peter and his pecking pickle. Here's the problem. I've just seen the little montage Sky F1 doing. How many people... Pav, you're ahead of me. I'm not there yet. I'm looking at the Antonelli thing. Hashtag I can't say it. Hashtag make F1 great again. Do you think they're throwing around the word generational talent? They're throwing it around too much, purely because the cars are awful to drive. As in, you could put respectfully Ocon in that Mercedes, and he'll be at the front too. Hashtag stuttering Stanley. Oh, look at you lot! Wow. I don't stutter often, but when I do, I stutter well. You could be someone who's never won a Formula 1 race, like, who hasn't won a race there? Colapinto in that Mercedes, and he'd be top 2. So I think throwing around this phrase generational talent is a bit too much. I mean, Kimi is, arguably. But I feel like you hear it every season now about someone else. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh my god, and Pav now at the FM intro. Mum's listening and said, stop picking on the... Does she like Kimi? I mean, fine, but I don't think you can be classed in generational talent in a car that drives itself. You've tuned into the wrong one as well. Hashtag little. So is Kimi now going to be known as the Little Lamb? Okay, that's fun. Hashtag Little Lamb. You've tuned into the wrong one because it's not going to be a professional one. Oh, we've seen the tyres. Who's on the softs? Hamilton on the softs, Max on the softs, Hulk on the softs, Colapinto on the softs, Sainz, Ocon on the softs. Why? Did you see the I saw the levels of the tyre deg throughout practice, and it looked like after 10 laps the softs were gone. So this could be a 2-stop. Every race should be a 2-stop, really, when you think about it, and you have to do a head of a job to make it a 1-stop. But that's not the case anymore. Should actually, if they're on the soft, they might be doing a 3-stop. I'm going to send you a goated vid. On what? On Instagram or WhatsApp? I hope it's a 3-stop. Stop. Oh, God. Okay. We're not calling me that. That's because Mum also would not call me that at all. What's that? Okay, I'll look. I don't want to play this with audio, Pav, I can't lie. In case the mic picks it up. Little lamb stuttering stand. Yeah, I don't like that fact that almost rhymes as well. Oh, Stuttering Stanley is actually from a film. Do you know what? I had no idea that's actually from a film. I thought you created that on your own accord. Top 10. Who's in top 10? Leclerc is 10th. Leclerc should be annoyed, and he rightfully was annoyed, as he should have been fighting for pole, but he's 10th. Hulkenberg 9th. 8th, we have Liam Lawson and Piastri. Piastri's been off the pace. Very off the pace all weekend for some odd reason. You've never watched Sixth Sense? No, I haven't, because I've never recognised that clip before. Look at that Red Bull, 5th and 6th row. Max 5th, Hadjar 6th. You got to give Hadjar actually fair play. He's sticking in the top 6, top 7. I mean, it's not difficult to do with these cars. It's what the car actually does. You can't really outperform it the way it deserves. Second row is Antonelli and Norris. Surprised Antonelli got pipped by Hamilton, but it was a good lap by Hamilton in the end. And then the front row is what a British front row of Russell and Hamilton. I still think Hamilton will lead into turn 1 because of the pace that Ferrari from the lights out into the stretch into turn 1, but wouldn't surprise me if that also goes horribly wrong. My prediction for the one to get the worst start is still going to be Max, because he can't get the Red Bull off the line. Collision into turn 1? No. I think you'll see 3 or 4 cars run wide at turn 1. Can we just point out that all cars, Alonso starting from the pit lane. Alonso into Lance Stroll. Well, Alonso is starting in the pit lane because they've changed his PU. But this might be the first time, apart from that all cars are actually starting the race. Oh, first time this season all cars are starting the race. Look at that. Look at the progress they've made. If Max is down to T1, it's a win, you know. If Max is still in the top 10 by the time he gets to turn 1, it's an achievement. I just can't see where the excitement's going to come from. I really can't. The thing is, even if Hamilton leads into, unless Ferrari have been massively sandbagging with the sound of Barcelona in the side pods, I just can't see where he's going to be able to keep the Mercedes back if he takes the lead. If you take Merc, Ferrari, McLaren, Albon out of the standings and apply the points accordingly, it's a lot more interesting. Should we just ignore the top 8? So at the minute, Hulk's winning. What about that? Oh, the start of one. Like, whoa! My Sky Go stream is not there yet. Yeah, Max on soft, same as Hamilton. That's clearly for the first 3 laps advantage. Yes, from Hulk downs where we're looking. So at the minute, Hulkenberg is winning. But then again, we have a Ferrari in 10th. So I feel like we should just revert that a little bit, because Leclerc's going to pass Hulkenberg quite quickly. Yeah, I'm surprised with the soft runners. I mean, they'll have the advantage off the line, but the tyres, if you look at the deg, as I said, from Friday, also, Max's tyres do not look like new softs either. They've been used. It's definitely a 2-stop. Yeah, okay. So even if you start on the mediums, it's medium, hard, or softs is soft, medium, hard. Predicted. Oh, look at these 5-second delays to the start. Oh. I realised I forgot to unpause it and now I'm well behind. Let's time this. Soft, medium, hard. Yeah, thank you, Pav. Appreciate that. Class. At least it does something. But I don't want a prediction turn 1, lads. I want a prediction for who's going to have a bad start. I said Max. Someone said Alonso into Stroll, even Alonso in the pit lane. Surely Max have a 3-stop sign on softs. But there's a multiple. No, all the two I just said. They just heard the prediction. If they're on softs, it's highly likely to be soft, medium, hard, and then mediums will be medium, hard, hard. Because the softs, I don't think the softs, however, are going to last 15 laps, based on what the practice was saying with the tyre deg. Bad start for Kimi. See, you're ahead. So is that a spoiler or is that your prediction? If Max takes the lead early on, he will, guaranteed. Oh, you matched it with my one. Okay, fair. How bad is that? That Red Bull surprised themselves with their qualifying pace and they're 5th and 6th. What are they, 3 temps off, 4 temps off? Absolutely class this sport is. As I said before, anyone tuning in for a professional commentary like MotoGP you're not going to get it. Gasly winning the POTR trophy. Yeah, there's a lot of things about Gasly. People didn't agree with reverting the decision for Gasly, and I'm like, well, it's happened many times before where decisions been appealed and overturned afterwards. Yes, I get he didn't get the Monaco podium celebration, but he's still getting the trophy at least. Do you know what I mean? Best of the rest. Where's he starting? Oh, so it's best of the rest. Where are we putting best of the rest down to? 6th or 9th? Aston looking like Caterham. Oh, God. I remember Caterham. Will Stevens, a little test in Caterham. Now he's trying to win Le Mans. I don't get the soft tyre runners. I mean, that convinces me even more that Hamilton's going to get the launch into turn 1. We're waiting for the rest of the cars to line up. Let's get professional for 10 seconds. We're waiting for the cars to line up in their grid slots. We've got to wait for Lance Stroll at the back to fit in that last grid slot on the grid. Alonso, as we said, is starting from the pit lane as he's changed his PU overnight. He qualified last anyway, so it makes no difference to anyone. Give us that gorgeous green flag at the back. That's what we're waiting for now. Of course, you've got to let the 5-second little spin, let the turbo spin so you can get off the line. There's the gorgeous green flag. Did a little 5-second preset warning. There it is. Give us the lights out. Now we're waiting for the lights so you can hear the turbo spinning. Pav has put Max. We guess Max has had a stinker start again. Here we go. I'm waiting to see it. I said he wanted to do 5 lights. Wait for lights to go off. I'm not going to say the saying. Lights out of the way. And Max has not got off the line at all. No one really has. Oh, slow starts from everyone, actually. Russell's going to cover Hamilton. Hamilton stays second. Pushed Anthony wide. Norris could have a moved on Anthony down the inside. Russell's going to defend the lead into turn 1. Hamilton around the outside. No, he's going to hold it. Russell stays third. Max didn't get a bad start at all. Yes, he did, actually. He stayed in 6th. No, it's Hadjar got the worst start than Max. Hadjar got the awful start for Red Bull, down to 14th. Max has stayed in 5th. He's actually held his position. Rounding outside to turn 3, going to turn 4. Russell's going to keep the lead ahead of Hamilton, Antonelli, and Norris. Max is going around the outside of Piastri in turn 4. I don't like the idea of that. Max on the softs. I really don't like the idea of that. Don't listen to me, though. You're clearly a lot better than me. We all know that. But Max is staying 5th, defending from Piastri. Down the inside of Norris, maybe into turn 5. The cameras are sticking on these right now as Russell's already putting a gap to Hamilton. Yeah, Pav, you scared me there. It was Hadjar that also started. Hadjar's down to 14th. Even though none actually got off the list, I feel like no one got a good start. Everyone got off the launch. Everyone launched, quite slow through turn 9. The only corner I like at the minute this track is still in these cars is turn 9 because that's a proper corner. Down the back straight, Russell's already putting the gap to Hamilton. That start on the softs worked, didn't it, for Ferrari? Hamilton, Anthony, Norris, Max, Piastri, Leclerc, Lawson, Lindblad, and Hulk in 10th. Hulk, I said, will drop down from the start. Leclerc's up from 10th to 7th. Hadjar's trying to recover from his start. Dreadful start from 6th to, I think, 15th or 16th into turn 1 and 2. I think the thing is, I think Hadjar got the same thing as what Verstappen had. Obviously not last weekend, but a few times this season, where they can't seem to get the engine off. They never, ever both have a good launch. Both Audis are going on the gravel now. I don't know if that was Bortoletto. I think it was being shoved on the gravel by Esteban Ocon, but over the line, Russell leads Hamilton by 1.2 seconds. That's soft tyre. Really did not work for Ferrari at all. He's under pressure from Antonelli. Never got the Yuki ups leading Norris, Verstappen, and Piastri into turn 1. Leclerc's got the start he needed, because Leclerc has good pace. He's had good pace all weekend. So recovering up to 7th from 10th on lap 1 is exactly what he needed to do, and I don't think it will take him long to get past the likes of Piastri, Verstappen, and Norris, but we have to see if he can keep it up the wall. Max is on a mission. Max was on a mission turn 1. I say he was on a mission. He did all that to defend the position. So it wasn't really like a thrilling launch, was it? And on the soft tyres as well. So, both Red Bulls did not get a launch. I think Hadjar struggled with the wheel spin that car gets in the second phase of the launch rather than the actual launch itself. But none of them got off the line well. They all very sluggish off the line, which was quite dull to watch. Alonso's caught Stroll as a second. That's going to be entertaining. You know, I say okay, lads, race done. Someone start a convo now. Honestly, lads, can't help. You know, this is now how we're going to hang on for another 64 laps of this. He gained 1 place. No, he didn't, because he started 5th, Ben. He started 5th, stayed 5th. Hashtag RTL, yeah, race trolley league, get the trolleys out. Yeah, he didn't gain a place, because Hadjar was 6th. Max started 5th, and he did all that to defend 5th. Hey-ho, at least he didn't drop down. I said Max inside the top 10 into turn 1 is an achievement. He made that. It was Hadjar who did slip down. What are the Alpines doing? 11th and 12th, so they've moved up a position each. 2 positions each, actually, for the Alpines. Someone said Gasly will finish best of the rest. Did we define where we said where is best of the rest? Are we going from 6th as it used to, or 7th as it used to be? Or are we going a bit lower in 9th? Because remember, the drivers can't make a difference, because it's the cars. But hey-ho. Someone is in the slipstream. As Hadjar in the slipstream of Sainz. Sainz is going defensive. That's surprising. Sainz is also on the soft tyres. I don't get this soft tyre strategy. I don't think it's going to work for anyone. Russell's leading Hamilton by 1.6 now into turn 4. So it's really not got the grip that Hamilton and Ferrari wanted. Hadjar around the outside of Sainz into turn 3. That was a solid move from Hadjar, actually. Fair play to him. Don't know if he used a little boost mode coming out of turn 2 into turn 3, which some drivers have been doing, I think. But it's a good move from Hadjar up to 13th place. Pav, what you're saying? Turn 3 seems to have a lot of grip on the outside. Seen a lot of overtakes there in F3 and F2. I think think that's normal though for that corner, especially in a race trim. It will be more difficult later on in the race when there's more marbles just offline. But if you're going to make a move around the outside of turn 3, it's going to be in the early laps. Cameron's on Hulkenberg, leaving the track and gaining the advantage in turn 1. I'm going to guess that's what I predicted. Someone will cut across the chicane between turn 1 and turn 2. Russell's pulled the gap down with 2 seconds. Again, the soft tyres are not good at all. Then we got, look at this, 2 seconds, and got a second to Antonelli, a second to Norris, a second to Verstappen, 6 tenths to Piastri, 9 tenths to Leclerc. So it's similar gaps right now. I do fear this. Lindblad the same, leaving the track and gaining the advantage. I'm guessing he went wide also at turn 1 into turn 2. Lindblad is now, where is Lindblad? 10th place on the mediums. Hulkenberg up to 9th now on those soft tyres, so he's gaining some, he's got some grip compared to the other soft runners at least. He's only 7 tenths behind Lawson himself. But I'm watching what Leclerc do. Leclerc's going to be the one I'm intrigued by, because he's within 7 tenths now of Piastri, and his pace is 3 tenths quicker than Piastri lap. He's the one I think everyone to watch. The lead is gone, Russell's gone, they're not going to close that gap. All this talk before the race of Hamilton can compete with the Mercedes, open your eyes. Nothing can compete with that Mercedes. Bartok's already messaged me that said, what a boring race already. Oh, it's dreadful, isn't it? Lawson's under big pressure from Hulkenberg, actually. Go on, Hulk. On board with Leclerc, this is the corner where he dropped it yesterday in Q3. I think he would have started second, I think, without that. So he's got to do all the comeback drive. Hamilton has dropped to 2.4 seconds behind Russell. Of course, no one's competed the Mercedes. I give it a matter of laps, or maybe the first pit stop, until Antonelli passes Hamilton and goes into second for another Mercedes 1-2. Leclerc wide there into turn 7, actually, for the apex, which affected his entry into 8, which then affects your run up into turn 9. That's how you get one corner wrong, you mess up the next 3 or 4 corners in Formula 1, or in racing in general, for ones who didn't know that. Look at the exit at turn 9, though. I do enjoy that. Oh, I think that's going to be the most professional we're going to get with Formula 1 now. Oh, Leclerc's got grip actually at turn. He's at 12. Yeah, a lot of grip at turn 12. He managed to stick to the curb. What's happening in Le Mans? It's a Toyota 1-2. Toyota have done very well, considering they started, 15th, 16th. Extraordinary by Toyota. 2.5 seconds over the line between Russell and Hamilton. Exciting. 8 tenths between Hamilton and Antonelli. 6 tenths now. He's brought the gap down this straight, of course he has. Norris has dropped to now 2 seconds behind Antonelli. Max 1.5. The softs really, again, odd. Very odd decision by anyone, but there's multiple stunt on softs. I thought maybe 1 or 2. Ben says, well, I'm bored, honestly saying. Right, watch the red, but you can't see it. But we're going to watch the launch back. Yeah, no one got off the line well. Max did not get a good launch. Max actually got helped with the slipstream from the McLarens as Piastri or Norris, whoever that is, went alongside him. And then I think we're on the outside of turn 1. Is it outside? Yeah, Verstappen got around the outside of turn 1 as the McLaren got boxed in on the inside. But he didn't get a good launch either. Hadjar just got bogged down massively in the second phase. Yep, few cars cut turn 1 to turn 2 as I expected. On board of Leclerc for his replay. So that was the driver's going to turn 9 in real time. Leclerc just kept his nose clean. There's one done. Hadjar just did. Oh, almost into the back of Hadjar. That was close. That was very close to an airplane crash between Leclerc and Hadjar. Down to turn 1. I think Leclerc just going on the outside of turn 1. There's another car done. I think it was Lawson. Put in wide, stayed on the curb. Good move by Leclerc. Followed the McLarens into turn 3. Actually, Lawson stayed on the inside. So Leclerc got Lawson around the outside of turn 3. Great move from him. It's with the utmost admiration, the extraordinary content upon the circuit. The magnificent motor cars wrought with remarkable ingenuity, transfers and course at pace scarcely conceivable to the ordinary observer. I'm going to have to do some work now. Yes, Ben, you are. I don't know where you've got that description from, but you're not wrong, and that's a sad thing. That was more entertaining reading that than what I think we're going to watch. All the lap times, we've got both Mercedes doing 22.4s. Hamilton's now dipped into a 22.3 on the soft tyres. And then you got, look at this, you've got Norris 23.2, Verstappen 23.0, Piastri 23.2. They're just nowhere near it. I haven't seen Stroll yet. What's Stroll done? I've seen he's pitted. Oh, the Aston. Wait, I'm behind Pav. I haven't seen it. I can see that Stroll is pitted, but I haven't seen it on my Sky Go feed yet. What's happened? Hadjar is up to 12th place. He's passed Pierre Gasly. His gearbox is gone. 6 laps. That is a very expensive car crash happening in that team. Alonso's wage, Nui's wage, whoever they're paying else, that is an extremely expensive, absolute calamity that they're paying for. And I am starting to wonder, how long is Lawrence Stroll going to pay for that? I said 6 retirements, well, 1 down, 5 to go. You easily, another 60 laps to go, mate. Could even get 5 more retirements. And then that'll be classed as an entertaining race because there's retirements. Is how I think the algorithm works for Formula 1 nowadays and how they judge the races. The paint on my... The paint on my door is really drying well now. It dried from the top corner, went all the way across the top of the door until it stopped at the fire from internet. Wait until you see Charles. What's Leclerc done? What do you mean? What do you mean, Leclerc? When you been waiting to see Charles? He's still following Piastri, so I don't know what you mean by that. When did you start painting the door and what colour? Oh, he's Leclerc. Oh, he's going to try and lunge, isn't he? Oh, that was cheek clenching time. Leclerc almost in the back of Piastri. Pat, there's almost 2 out then, so that would have been closer to your guess of estimation. Did Hadjar get Gasly around the outside as well of turn 3? I think he did. He's using the boost, I think. There's so much grip. You're right, there's so much grip right outside of turn 3. Hadjar's got Gasly, who stuck to the inside. Hadjar's went around him like it wasn't even there. So that's how he gained the place after 12. He's going to chase Colapinto next, who he's within a tenth of coming into turn 4, so that won't be long. Hulkenberg is staying in 9th. Leclerc 7th. I say it won't be long. Hadjar is just past Colapinto now for 11th and 12th. Back at the front, the gap is 3 seconds between Russell and Hamilton, and we're talking about a door in the chat. Maybe the boost out of turn 3. No, I think it's the boost out of turn 2. I don't think the boost out. I think they're doing it a little burst out of turn 2 for honestly about a second. Leclerc's taking a much tighter line in turn 10 than McLaren. He's got a lot more grip than Piastri in front of him, but he's stuck now because, the engine deploys at the same time. How great is this, lads? How fun is this? Everyone having a fun time? Hadjar's loving it. You got Colapinto on the outside at 4. Gage on the outside at 3. I started when the lights went green and thought I'd stop when something interesting happened. I'm still painting. You're going to keep painting for another 58 laps. In a normal car, it won't be long. Mansell's #1 fan. Leclerc's going to run the outside of Piastri in turn 3. Here he goes. He's lined it up out of turn 2. I'm convinced they're using the boost out of turn 2. He's gone round the outside of Piastri at turn 3. Again, it is a good move. You can't slate that move, the grip there or not. It is a good move from Hadjar. It's a brilliant move from Leclerc on the outside of Piastri in turn 3. The boost is definitely happened, but the Piastri, that McLaren, is sliding at the exit, which they've struggled with all weekend, and Leclerc could just drive around the outside. So clearly that Ferrari's working. Clearly there's grip at turn 3. That's Leclerc up to 6th, recovering from 10th. Cameras on Hadjar now, who is closing in on Lindblad for the last point. Bring back Dustbin down the Williams man. Right, if my dad is saying bring back Dustbin down the Williams man, then we know we're in desperate lengths here in Formula 1. Absolutely desperate lengths. But I say bring back Dustbin down the Williams man. How long left to Le Mans? 45 minutes. The BMW's just moved up to 2nd. You got the number 7 Toyota, the 20 BMW, and then the number 8 Toyota. Bring back Logan Sargent. He's racing Le Mans, mate. He's busy. He's busy driving actual cars. He's busy driving. Pav has used another 100 bit by Pav. Well done, well done. Thank you for that. Kenny equals #1 Mansell fan. If he keeps giving me bits of money, keep doing it. Johnson again, ale, ale. Johnson again. Johnson again. Johnson again, ale, ale. He's won 2 European trophies back to back now, if we're counting the Conference League as a European trophy. Oh, here goes Hadjar running outside Lindblad and turn 1. That's going to be squeezed. That's going to be close. Lindblad has just put Hadjar on the curb. See, I don't think Hadjar is entitled to complain about that, but he's going to. But he went to go around the outside of Lindblad, and Lindblad has rightfully shut him the door. Oh, that's Gasly going well at turn 3. I think they've realised the grip out there now from watching Hadjar, and maybe that's the line they're all taking out, because Gasly was very wide at turn 3. But he went to go around the outside of Lindblad into turn 1. Yes, he was side by side, but going into the corner, the way that corner curves right, I don't think he's got entitlement to want to stay in the track there, but he's going to complain nonetheless, because that's what drivers do. Lando's asking how the pace is going. He's just sliding everywhere. Same as Piastri, the McLaren's been sliding all weekend. Back at the front, the gap is 3.4 seconds between Russell and Hamilton. Where's the best of the rest? So, lads, are we looking from 4th onwards, or 2nd onwards, or 9th onwards? Where are we looking from? I'm not looking at 1st, or 2nd, or 3rd. Frankly, I'm not. God, Leclerc has gapped Piastri by 2.5 seconds already. 10th onwards, who's winning? So Hadjar's winning. God, yeah, where's Piastri? I know Piastri struggled with pace, and I said before he's had no pace all weekend, but that is shocking pace. To lose a second that lap, he's dropped 2.5 tenths to Leclerc. Leclerc is catching Verstappen hand over fist. That's going to be another lap or two, and he's going to be within half a second of Max Verstappen. That's going to be exciting between those two, but Verstappen also knows he won't be able to put a fight up with Leclerc at all. The question is, can Leclerc catch Norris? They're matching pace right now. Verstappen's about 4 tenths off. Piastri's well off. Pace to the front, 23.1, 23.4, 23.5. So actually, they're coming back, the leaders. The lap times are coming back to the guys from 4th, 5th, and 6th, which is interesting. What lap are we getting the first lapping? Who is it right now? It's Alonso's just passed. Oh, there's a battle of the stinkers. Alonso has just passed Bottas for 20th and 21st into turn 1. Bottas has got Alonso back into turn 2. They've got to turn 3 now. Can Alonso hang it around the outside? I'm watching the track map because they're not showing on camera. But no, he doesn't. Bottas holds the place. It's shocking that they're racing Cadillac. Lap 25.30. Well, let's do the maths. After 10 laps, Alonso's 47 seconds off the lead. So what's the lap time here? It's going to be about 1:16. I'm just going to look at 1:16. That's way too fast. 23s. So they're about 4 seconds a lap quicker. So if we did the maths, 52. I reckon they're about, I reckon maybe between 20 and 25. But I don't think you're far off with that 25 to 30 prediction. I said within 2 laps Leclerc will be in half a second of Verstappen. It was actually 1 lap. He's got the gap down to 4 tenths, just under 4 tenths going down the main straight. This is not going to take Leclerc long at all. Again, I said look at Leclerc's pace and how he has to recover. He would have been on the front row yesterday if he didn't stick his Ferrari in the wall again, but he did that and he's got to fight back through. He would be maybe within 2 seconds of Russell because he's got the pace and had all weekend, but he keeps making mistakes. It won't take him long, I think, to get past Max Verstappen for 5th, but then he has to hunt down Norris, and Verstappen is just losing more and more time to Norris on these soft tyres. Ridiculous decision starting the softs. Hamilton's going to lose more time to Russell. Hamilton 23.5 that lap, Verstappen a 24.3, and Piastri again a mid-24. So Piastri and the medium's got no pace, and Verstappen's pace is going to get slower and slower out on those soft tyres. Yeah, I mean it was ridiculous starting softs. I don't get that at all. And again, is Red Bull making more odd decisions on Verstappen's side of the garage? I don't understand it. But they said lap 15. I guarantee the soft runners are going to pit before lap 15 because Ted showing. Verstappen struggling a lot of retires. I think Verstappen might pit this lap. Even wobbling on the straight is quite impressive. Don't know what that means. Interesting chat before. Who's pitted? Is it Leclerc pitted or Hamilton? Is it both? Yeah, it's Hamilton. So the soft Max in. No, Verstappen stayed out another lap. Hamilton's in to get rid of the soft tyres. I said it won't be lap 15. It was lap 11. So have they just put themselves on a 3-stop now? He's going to go on the hard tyres, unless he's going hard medium or hard. But I don't understand the strategy to start on the softs. I think it's ridiculous. Leclerc's got within again half a second of Verstappen into turn 1. Can't make the move as they go through turn 3, but he's going to be all over him into turn 4 and 5. Interesting stat for Ferrari. I mean, it always is. Also interesting about Rip. Anyone who started on the softs, I think, is an interesting stat. I don't think they thought it through. They had all evening to think it through what they're going to do, and clearly, I think, made the wrong decision. Hulkenberg, no further advantage. Oh, a slow pistol from Lawson. That's at the rear. I think the right rear or left rear. I don't like how we've got that. Alonso P20. Where? He's going to pass Bottas down this straight. Let me see. Can we see it on camera? We're looking at Lawson leave the pits. Is there Alonso on Valtteri Bottas down the back straight? He's going to go down the inside of turn 1. Go on, Nando. That's P20 for Fernando Alonso. Still in the race. He's still going. The Spanish crowd going mad. Soft runners have to go for 3 stops. Yeah, I thought that. I thought the one starting us off because after practice they all complained about the tyre deg, and that they just had nothing after 8 laps or something. So I don't understand where they saw the benefit because the tyre deg. Well, Russell's pitting now on the medium tyres. That's early. Or lock up from Russell going into the pit lane. But Russell is pitting well early. Is that to cover Hamilton? No, if that's to cover Hamilton, I'm surprised by that because of the difference of strategies. Verstappen is also in this lap as well. I think a lot of them are going to come in. Leclerc is now freed from having Verstappen in front of him, so he's going to close on. Who's in front of him now? Is it Norris? It is Lando Norris. The gap is 5 seconds. That's how much pace Verstappen lost in the last 2 to 3 laps. Verstappen, and this is interesting now, this strategy, because I did not expect Russell in so early. So that's clearly to cover Hamilton, but he's going to come out ahead of Hamilton. The softs, I understand, but I mean, yeah, I think they've done it to cover Hamilton. They've reacted. Mercedes definitely reacted to that because he came out ahead of Hamilton. I can see on the track map. But with the difference of strategies, I find it odd. I think they would have cleared him later on in the race if they'd stuck to their long strategy. So maybe it's a free stop for most people. Verstappen's come out in traffic, of course. He's come up behind Lindblad. Again, great call from Red Bull there to put him in traffic. Every decision they're making right now is just wrong. I mean, Hamilton's closer to Russell. I think the gap is under 2 seconds, whereas the thing is 1.5 seconds. But that's just going to build, I think. They're both on hard tyres now. But I can't see him closing the gap to Russell at all. So I think they're just settling for second or fighting for second to hold off Antonelli, who I think is... If Antonelli goes longer now, that's going to be an interesting thing. Max on mediums, not hard. That's going to be interesting to see, considering medium runners are pitting, or at least Russell did. Is he on mediums? I think it's wrong. I think it's the wrong decision for Verstappen to go on. Because even the McLarens are going on hard. So I think Red Bull will just try and do the opposite things to see if anything can go their way. I don't see it working. Lando Norris is in now. And that's going to be off the medium tyres to go onto the hard tyres. So they're going to go... That can 2-stop. Oh, Oh, that was a fast pit stop. That was a very good pit. 2.2 seconds from McLaren. That's a very good pit stop. Anthony's still going. That's interesting to me. The ones who are still going are Anthony and Leclerc with a pace of 20. I was going to say decent pace. Hamilton's just gone 2.1 seconds quicker than both of them on the new hard tyres. A 21.4 by Hamilton. Anthony and Leclerc both to the 23.5. It's interesting Leclerc in free air instantly matches the pace of Antonelli, just proving how good his pace actually is. He'd be at the front, but he cost himself. Hulk's in now from the soft tyres, so none of them are making lap 15. That was a wild shout from the Pirelli predictions. All the data, and they get it that wrong, but okay. Hulkenberg's on the hard tyres. They're on hard tyres as well, so I don't quite know what Red Bull have done there with Verstappen. Norris is going to come out and feed. He's fed in front of Verstappen quite comfortably, actually, a few seconds. Or is it 2.5 seconds? Verstappen's behind Hadjar. So Hadjar, I think, is going to move the way. Alonso up to P17 on the hard tyres. Those hard tyres not going to last over 50 laps. No, they won't. They're all going to pit again. Hadjar's got to get the way of Verstappen here, as he does at the exit of turn 5 into turn 6 and 7. Russell said I was managing that first and you could have given me a heads up. Yeah, I'm surprised by that. You've exposed me to Kimi now. Oh, interesting. I don't think it's going to be long for everyone. I need an update on the plan then. Are you moving me to a 3 or not? Still a plan on here, George. Nothing to worry about. Interesting how he mentions Kimi that early. That's fascinating. That little 19-year-old's in Russell's head. Speaking of Kimi Anthony, he is now pitted off the medium tyres of the 14th. So they predicted the soft to make 15 laps, and the mediums couldn't even make it because Piastri's in as well. So Leclerc is the only one still going around with his original medium tyres from the leading group, but now he's doing a 23.9. Bear in mind, behind Russell is doing a 21.7. So that I don't understand it. Norris is going to be putting Anthony under pressure now. The pit exit into turn 1, I think. Actually, not that much. I hyped that a bit too much. He's going to have cold tyres in turn 1, 2, and 3. So Norris is going to be within a second, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move. Verstappen's going to Hadjar. He's 3.3 behind Norris. A 21.9 from Verstappen's his personal best, but that's on the mediums. So he's still slower than the others on the mediums compared to them on the hards. My God. Gay Woody being bullied by a kid, rent-free. It is rent-free in his head. He really is rent-free in his head. Oh, I got food. I do have food. I'm thinking about food on lap 15. How entertaining is that? But yes, he is in his head. And that's interesting. He's mentioning owning Antonelli, considering he's got a gap of about 8 seconds to him. Leclerc, big call. What's he done? I mean, he's got a pit now because it's trying to do a one-stop is not going to work. Big call. I want to see Leclerc. Oh, here's the radio. That's what I was waiting for. Box, Charles. He's not going to box. Oh, I like that from Charles. The Ferrari wanted him to box this lap to cover Piastri. Leclerc is saying, no, keep going. We have the pace to cover more than Piastri's. Let's look further ahead. He's got an ugly, ugly front right tyre, though, as Leclerc. But Leclerc does have good pace, so I like that from him to go aggressive with the strategy. I mean, look at it. Yeah, they started 10th, so they've got to try something. Verstappen now at 21.9, and Norris at 22.0. Russell at 21.9, Hamilton 21.9. So they're all matching pace, mediums and hard, but Verstappen's mediums are not going to last. But no, I like that from Leclerc. That's an aggressive strategy call. I like that. I really do. What's happening in Le Mans right now? The Cadillacs and I like how in the Le Mans pit stops the guy just climbs onto the front of the car to clear the windscreen. That makes me laugh every time. 2 retirements down, 4 to go. Who else has packed it in? Listen, the more retirements, the more entertaining the race. Whoosh. Is someone in them all? Battery Bottas? No, not Battery Bottas. God, he was having such a good scrap with Alonso as well for last. We have an issue. So, when I said, oh look, we've got all cars actually starting the race, 2 of them couldn't last 16 laps. So, but it's fine because people wanted reliability issues, didn't they? I know we hate watching, but it's quite an interesting ordering at the top, in my opinion. Why do you say that though? Because the way I see this strategy planning out, it is not gonna be. That's the problem. We're not hate watching. We're realistic watching. I'm definitely hate watching. But I just think when the strategy will plan out, I just think it's going to be the same order. The only one who can shake something up is going to be Leclerc, but he's got to really have some pace to do that. Because Norris is not going to get near the ones in front. Verstappen obviously is not going to get near Norris. Hashtag realistic hate watch. That's what it's going to be called. That might be the slogan to every F1 race this season. Is hashtag realistic hate watch. This Charlie rap. I love that saying now. I forgot it existed. 33 minutes left in Le Mans. So Piastri's got no pace at all, is he? His personal best at 22.5. That's Horrendously slow compared to the leaders. That's half a second off the leaders, I reckon. They're all actually matching the same pace. Russell, Hamilton, Antonelli. Actually, they're all in the same pace. If you look at Russell, 22-1, Hamilton 22-1, Antonelli 22-0, Norris 22-1, Verstappen 22-1. Leclerc will be probably 22-0, 21-9s. Piastri 22-5, so Piastri's nowhere near it. But that's interesting how they're all on the same pace. I don't think it'll work for Leclerc going that much long. I mean, he's going to have a pace advantage in about 10 laps, but I don't think it worked for him to be this far behind now. He's going to hold off Piastri. Piastri's not going to be a problem for him. What did he do? 21-7, 22-0, 21-9, 21-9, 22-3. There you go. It differed now. Oh, Isaac Hadjar has passed Liam Lawson for the last points position in 10th. He's recovering, of course, from his bad start. We dropped to 15th in turn 1. Cameras right now are in Piastri and Leclerc. Piastri at 22-2, so he's picked up some pace now. Hadjar now back in the onboards, right behind the Haas, coming into turn 13. This would be a good move. Into the turn 13, you don't see that often. Hadjar clearly has a lot more pace than the midfield guard. So Max on mediums, Hadjar on hard. Yeah, it's odd. It's really odd. I don't know why they're being experimental on Verstappen's car. No engine failure yet. Still time to get your bets in. Who do we think? Who do we think? Who do we think? I mean, Bottas retired with a battery issues. We're not counting it as an engine failure. Imagine it's George Russell again. The dramatic throw of the headrest will be extraordinary if it's Russell again. Hamilton's got decent pace, but like the ones behind him, they don't have the pace to close that 6-second gap in him right now. The battery is the engine. I don't want to accept that. So are we counting the first power unit problem with Bottas then? I mean, not wrong, it is half the power unit, sadly. Lawson's now dropped behind Behrman, which is... Or is he catching Behrman? Actually, he might be catching Behrman. I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, because Hadjar just passed him. So I was wrong there. He's catching Behrman. So they've got decent pace. Hadjar's got a 8-second gap to Lindblad. That'd be interesting. Lindblad pitted? No, Lindblad has not pitted yet. Okay. Back at the front, nothing's happening. No, I need a full engine kaboom. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm not counting a battery problem. Then again, Russell's in Canada was a battery problem, but we're referring to that as a power unit problem. So maybe we have to accept... Lindblad and Bear need to pit. Yeah, I've just clocked that. Maybe we have to accept that a battery problem is now a power unit failure. You know, we counted it in Russell in Canada. We've got to count it here, I think. Yeah, so Scott, I see your point that the ordering is interesting, but I just can't see. I don't see how anything's going to happen. As soon as the strategy plays out, I just think we're going to be in the same situation. Brycine boy, I know it's referring to Russell, but who is that character? Lewis is catching Brycine boy. Law leading the shitters. Is he? Hey, P10's the winner really now, isn't it? P10 is the winner. God, this is gripping stuff, lads. Gripping stuff. When's the trolley racing? Get the hashtag RTLs going. Bry cream. Oh, is it gel? I think it was in Bry cream. Oh, I didn't know it was gel. See, I like how you lot get the joke. I didn't get it. See, I think that's the wrong drive to use a gel joke on. I think there's others you can use for that. Russell's more than just hair gel. Stan's Headland does not allow him to use hair gel. You're not wrong. Russell's more than hair gel. Russell's a combination of a manufacturing something. From the 90s, that's probably why I don't know it. Briar cream is what people who go to Eton use. Fair enough. That's why I don't know about it. I mean, you say he's catching, Hamilton's catching him. He's not though, is he? Russell now is just able to match his guys. Alpine's switching cars for 12th and 13th. That's gripping. David Beckham's curtain were funded by Prior Cream. It really annoys me the amount of drivers you hear on the radio say I'm not even pushing. Oh, Audi was well off the track in turn 10 then. But the driver said they're not even pushing. Can we get back to the days where they had to push? Yeah, Hamilton is not catching Russell. Russell is able to do a lap, then he'll ask what lap Hamilton's done, then he'll match that lap. That's what's happening now. Russell 22.5, Hamilton 22.6. There you go. I love how Russell's able to keep it 2 seconds, no more no less. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's they're all able to do it. Antonelli's catching Anthony. That was the quickest of the leaders, 22.0. compared to Hamilton's 22.6 and Russell's 22.5. Obviously, Russell could do a 22.0 if he wanted. So Antonelli is going to catch Hamilton, I think. He's got the gap down from 6.5 seconds, 7 to 4.5 already. 6 tenths quicker that lap. Norris 2.5 behind, doing 22.3. Verstappen 22.8. Leclerc at 21.7. Leclerc is pronounced Brill Cream. Thank you. I love the fact we're talking about a hair gel from the 70s. Brill Cream. See, you learn something new every day. I've learned a hair gel from the 70s now. During the full-on stream, Hadjar's at the back of Limbaugh down the main straight. That'll be done before the braking of turn 1. There goes Hadjar up to 8th place. It was £1 a tin. I couldn't afford it. I mean, your first car cost you, what, 50 quid? Brill Cream, main sponsor of the RTL. Let's have change the logo of the RTL and add sponsored by Brill Cream. Sponsored by Apex to Apex. Apex to Apex presents RTL. Sponsored by Brill Cream. Finally, we have a sponsor. That's what we needed. We just needed funding. Antonelli Radio, happy with pushing. He's got the gap down to Hamilton since I spoke half a lap ago about the gap between Antonelli and Hamilton. It's now down to 4 seconds, now half a second taken out. Look at this, Russell at 22.5, Hamilton at 22.7, Antonelli at 22.1. Again, half a second lap quicker. Leclerc has got pace on him. He's going to be kicking himself, absolutely kicking himself after his Q3 disaster. Because again, Verstappen that lap at 22.8, he's got no pace at all. Leclerc's going to come across with another 21.5. That's over half a second quicker than Antonelli. He screwed himself with another mistake in qualifying. 75 quid, it fell apart from rust after a month. I'm not surprised. Really not surprised. Alonso P20 still. I mean, he's got no one to fight now because the one he was fighting retired. So Alonso watches P20 about to be lapped by Russell. Well, what lap do we say? 25.30. It's going to be lap 22. He's going to lap him now. There you go. Alonso's been lapped. Estimation was lap 22 for the first lapped car. Almost. We almost said it. I said early 20s. I did the estimation. I said you might be right at 25. I think it might be a couple laps earlier. Lap 22. That's our answer. Fernando Alonso, the first victim of a lapping. How is this so dull? Like I just had like a 6 second thought. How is it so dull? It just is though, isn't it? All the gaps are too far away. The tyres aren't lasting. We're having Hulkenberg fight Lawson for 10th and 11th. The cameras are sticking these right now. And Audi versus... I don't like... That's what I was saying earlier. I don't like how they've still got these weird wheel rims on the tyres. And the RB team have made it like a football for the World Cup. I think it looks hideous, frankly. But, okay, they're going to make the rules. I want to see the brake disc glow again if they have to use the brakes now from the lifting off before the corner. Back of the front, Russell leads Hamilton by 2.3 seconds. Exciting. Anthony's got the gap down. It was 4 seconds a lap ago when I mentioned before. When I did that about a lap and a half ago. It's down to 3.3, so he's going to be all at the back of Hamilton in a match of laps. I love how Max is racing against the world-famous no one. Yeah. I mean, Leclerc will catch him. Leclerc's going to eat into that gap. It's Piastri's pace I'm baffled by. Leclerc's very much in our window. Well, of course he's looking... Red Bull just said to Verstappen, Leclerc's very much in our window. Well, of course he is. He's 4 seconds behind you, lapping 8 tenths a lap quicker than you. Of course he's in your window. But it's Piastri's pace. It's shocking. Awful pace for Piastri. This again is proven to me that Verstappen will not be in a Red Bull next year. He'll be in a car that's winning this race. But another lap up. They've lapped Perez. That's 2 lap done. 2 lap cars. 25 minutes left of Le Mans. Anyone wondering? We still have the number 7 Toyota winning, leading the BMW number 20. I don't know what the gap is though over the line. Yeah, Leclerc's going to be kicking himself. Leclerc had the pace. Leclerc arguably had the pace to fight at the front. Fight at the front, but Mercedes would have had to push more with Leclerc there. They still would have won, and we're going to have another Mercedes win this season. Anyone who said the 2023 season was dull with Verstappen winning, we're going to have the same team win every race this season. So now, careful what you wish for. I think a lot of Formula fans need to realise that. There's a 90% chance we're going to have every race this season won by the same team. But it's not Verstappen, so people aren't going to moan about it. Anyway, back to the race. Anthony's got the gap down to Hamilton to 2.7 seconds now, so that's going to be another 5 laps. I reckon he'll be there. Norris is keeping with Antonelli, which is interesting. The gap's 2.1 to Antonelli, so with Antonelli pushing, Norris is maintaining that gap to him, actually matching his pace, being 2 tenths quicker that lap with a 22.2 compared to Antonelli's 22.4. That's very good pace. Hulkenberg, that was late by Lawson to turn 1. Hulkenberg went to look down the inside of Lawson into turn 1. That was a late defensive move, I think, from Lawson. Hulkenberg will be on the radio, I imagine, for that. I think he needs to just get on with it. Audi looks like F3, and looks bad, doesn't it? Hulkenberg got that very wide line at turn 3. That was not the quickest way to do it. He got a waff of dirty air, I think, in the apex on mid-corner of turn 3. Put him well wide. Now he's going to be under pressure from Pierre Gasly, also on hard tyres. All three of these cars on hard tyres. Gasly on the freshest one on 9 laps. Hulk is doing all right. Of course Hulk's doing all right. Hulkenberg is criminally underrated and has been his entire career. Every car Hulkenberg goes in, he does a very good job on it. He's criminally underrated. The reason why Audi kept him is because they know they need an experienced someone to score at least a couple points. Hulkenberg will do that. Yes, as I did move him out, the move down to turn 1. He moved right on the braking, dangerous. I did say complain. I did think it was late by Lawson. He very, very dodgy, that one. Very careful how he does that. So they'll keep an eye on that. Hamilton's got the gap to 2.1 to Russell. Shock horror, they're both doing 22.8 because Russell's just matching him. Antonelli's got the gap to Hamilton, did the 22.8 that time round as well, Antonelli, but the gap is now 2.7 seconds. Norris is to 1.6, and Norris that lap 4 tenths quicker. And it's not like Antonelli into lap, well, they both lap Perez that lap, so they both had the back marker holding them up. Finally, we're watching the fight for the Battle of the Rest trophy. I'm all for, do you know what, I'm rooting for Hulk for the Battle of the Rest. Absolutely rooting for Hulk. Let's get him there. Go on, Hulky boy. Yeah, Norris's pace is good. He's matching Antonelli lap in, lap out, about 4 tenths quicker that time. Compared to Piastri, he's at 22.9. He's half a second off his teammate. Leclerc's got the gap down to Verstappen to under 3 seconds. That's not going to take long. Again, he's lapping about half a second lap quicker. Norris has got very good pace. What happened to Bottas getting PU issue? It was a battery issue. Chef Ben Gaming, a battery issue. So technically, yes, a PU issue. Annoyingly, it's classed as a PU issue. Same thing, yeah. I think Alonso pitted again, so he's still 20th. 25 seconds off Sergio Perez. They're just testing. It's sad to see that they are doing that, but they are just testing while they have the time to do it. They're not racing anyone, are they? Let's be honest. Chef Ben, are you Ben Cheffing? He is Ben Cheffing. I can confirm that actually. You got to respect the commitment. He's watching. He's a streamer. He's part of the chat, and he's Chef Bemming. Stan sent you an update on WhatsApp. Is this the RTL picture? Yeah, Lawson was. I think that was naughty by Lawson. I don't think you should get away with that one. Bortoletto down the inside of someone. Was it Ocon? It was Ocon into turn 1. 20 trolleys, 1 champion, no brakes, race trolley league. Carts out, trolleys in. Hashtag make F1 great again. We're going to get that going round again. We did well last week, but now we're going to fully do it again. Hashtag make F1 great again. Put that everywhere. Sponsored by Apex to Apex. Sponsored by Brill Cream. You can't really see it. There we go there. You can't really see it that well. Brill Cream, Apex to Apex sponsors. Solid. Get that, print that out, pad, put it everywhere. Hashtag make F1 great again for the sake of our sanity. Ben is chefing. Chef is in the kitchen. Chef is watching F1, getting paid to watch F1. Ben is chefing. Chef is in the kitchen chefing. And Chef is watching F1 and he is getting paid to watch F1. That's how you know you unlocked life when you reach that status. 1, you're a chef. 2, you're chefing. And 3, you're watching F1 while chefing, while getting paid to watch F1 while chefing. What a class conversation this is. Anthony's got the gap down Hamilton 1.4 seconds. That's going to before lap 30. He's going to be within half a second of Hamilton himself. Verstappen's dropped to 8.5 behind Lando Norris. Leclerc's now 2.1. Leclerc's pace has dropped off a bit actually. Last lap was 22.7. I'm gonna guess he only just lapped Perez. So actually, I think Leclerc just had the scruffy lap. Is anyone else bored? Lewis in again. Hamilton pitted again early, is he? Interesting. They're trying to trigger something of a strategy. That's got to be a 3-stop then, isn't it? That has to be a 3-stop. But Scott, what are you waiting for? Oh, another lockout Hamilton when he came into the pit entries. That's close. That's gonna be close on limiter. Yeah, so they've surely got a 3-stop then. If the hards are doing 16 laps, they're putting on hard tyres again. Oh no, the medium tyres for Hamilton now. So what they're doing, what Ferrari are doing, isn't about. They know they're going to get done by both Mercedes. They've already been done by Russell. They know Antonelli's going to catch them and pass them. What they're doing is they're trying to cause a trigger effect with strategy to get that gap to Antonelli big again. by going on the mediums. 16 laps on hards is not a good stint. So these mediums, let's say they do another 16 laps, is low fuel. Let's say another 16 laps, that'll take them to about 44. It's going to be a 3-stop. Speaking of waiting, anyone heard about this track by Nilo waiting? Available on all music platforms. Someone pin that again right now. Also, big up Scott. He's going to make a playlist for the streams and the podcast of some of a shuffle of his choice. We're definitely going to have a waiting song in there as well. So be prepared to hear some Nilo tracks more and more as you tune into the streams and the podcast episodes, which of course go out on Spotify and YouTube. Apex to Apex podcast of the episodes, and live stream on Twitch. Apex to Apex pod on Twitch. Follow, subscribe, give her whatever Pav did earlier, a bit, a cheer, whatever it's called. I just saw that one. Kenny equals #1 Mansell fan. Dustbin Dan the Williams man. Get that guy in as well. That hashtag Dustbin Dan the Williams man. Great name. What's interesting to me now is Antonelli's got the gap to Russell to 2.8 seconds and is lapping comfortably quicker than Russell right now. Hashtag Hamilton fastest lap. Gripping. No, look at the gap at the front. Antonelli's been silently doing this. That lap he was a second quicker. Russell did lap Ocon. I don't know if it's talking about that much, though, by a second. Anthony's definitely quicker than Russell in this part of the race on these hard tyres. So it's going to be interesting if he can close the gap. SoundCloud put waiting in their official UKG and baseline playlist. Well done, son. Well done, son. Scott, mate, proud of you. Hamilton round the outside. Was that Piastri round the outside of turn? They love to move around the outside. I didn't even see the start of that. Again, coming out of turn 2, you line him up around the outside of turn 3. Hamilton gets Piastri. That was a solid move, and Piastri didn't exactly give him a lot of room. He squeezed him right to the edge of the track into turn 3. Hamilton got the move done, secured it on the exit. Very, very good move for Hamilton. I'll give him that one. Solid move. Clearly there's still grip around that turn 3, and you need to find it early. The drivers need to find it early between turn 2 and turn 3, and they need to decide quickly, I've noticed. They need to decide quickly of when they're going to commit to the move, and if they commit to it as soon as they come out of turn 2 into turn 3, that's when the moves are being done. Brylcreem clearly dripping into his Brylcreem boy's eyes. What, the Russell one, hence where they go. 2.3. I see. Did I say it was 2.8 last lap? I think I did. Did I say 2.8? Russell with 23.2. Anthony 22.6. Anthony is hunting Russell. Anthony's using track limits. No more track limits, otherwise it'll be a 5-second penalty. So Anthony's clearly been pushing more. So had Russell just been resting here for these laps, that's a big track limits this early into the race as well. I don't get the Tretty calls anymore. They're just trying to cause reactions, I think. Oh, it's a slow pit stop for Verstappen, of course. He's now gone to the hard tyres, but, I mean, not like he was racing anyone anyway. He's racing Piastri, whose pace is also just as bad as Verstappen's is. But Verstappen pits onto the medium tyre time, so they're going to do one more stop as well. So they're 3-stopping. They're all going to be 3-stopping. Hamilton fast lap at 20.6. Anthony's got the gap to Russell to 1.8 seconds. Anthony has been quietly flying. This is not good for George Russell's state of mind if Anthony can catch him and pass him. This is not what Russell wanted. He did not want Anthony being faster than him and catching him. But you can see they're in the same shot now, coming between turn 9 and 10, comfortably in the same shot. And Russell is catching an ugly give back markers, which of course Antonelli will have to go through as well. Hulkenberg has been passed by Gasly down to 11th, so the battle for 10th and 11th now is now spiced out. Actually, Lawson's pulled away from them. Hulkenberg down to 12th now. Hulkenberg has pitted, I think, maybe. His dot has stopped. I believe Hulkenberg has pitted. That would be why he's dropped positions. I was waiting to see where his dot on the track moves, if he's hit the wall or stopped. But back onto the main straight. This was interesting. Anthony 1.1 between George Russell now. This is fascinating. George Russell, mate, I think you're ripping up your Mercedes deal. If you get done by Antonelli here, you might as well give Verstappen the Mercedes contract yourself next year. Kimi is flying. If Anthony gets past Brylcreem Boy, the drinks are on me. So his head prefect is now Brylcreem Boy. It's a new nickname for him every weekend. Poor George. But this has not worked for Russell at all. He's trying to weave now to get them out. Hulkenberg are very... Oh, is Hulk retiring? Oh, Hulk, I think, is retiring. What's happened in the pits of Hulkenberg there? He had the pace fight for 10th. I think he's retiring in the pits. I say he's the most underrated driver, criminally underrated. He's also criminally unlucky as well. 3 out of 6. Yep. Pav, you're halfway there, mate. You're halfway there. 3 out of 6 gone. Anthony's flying. 0.8 of a second now behind Russell. He's absolutely flying. Hamilton's got between 1.5 seconds nearly of his teammate Leclerc. He's going to pit again now. This is awful for Russell. Absolutely dreadful for Russell. Now, are we going to have a little Mercedes clash at Spain again? Surely not. Surely we're not going to have another Mercedes clash at Barcelona. thought you sent me race Troy League champion, dustbin down the Williams, man. That's class. Try and get Mansell's face on that just to make it a little bit better. Anthony's within 6 attempts. Pav sent me a racing Troy League champion picture, dustbin down the Williams, man. But I want to see if he can get Mansell's face on it just for funny. Bartok just messaged me, said 5 pit stops for Hamilton. What's he on about? Leclerc's got to Hamilton through. Hamilton down the inside of Leclerc into turn 1. They're all 3-stopping. They're all going to 3-stop. Hamilton through Leclerc into P4. He'll catch Norris if Norris is in the pit as well. See, are they watching? I think Mercedes are watching the pace of Hamilton. Yeah, they've done this to trigger the pace at the front to go up. They want Mercedes to use their tyres. And now, here's the thing. Russell's about to cry, he is. Because if they start scrapping the 2 Mercedes drivers, Hamilton could undercut them. Kimi's pacing and saying yes, but if they hold each other up here, Hamilton, I think, could undercut them. He is going to undercut them. He's 14.5 seconds off the lead. So Hamilton is going to undercut them. That's backfired massively for Mercedes. Hamilton is going to be on the leading, but he is going to take the lead. Of course, he has to pit at the end, so he's going to have some pace at the end, but he's undercutting them for now. Antonelli's been I don't know if Russell's pace has gone off a cliff or if Antonelli's just rapid, but he's within half a second going down the back straight of George Russell. Here we go. Antonelli's going to make a move on George Russell into turn. Russell has to go defensive. Antonelli around the outside is going to try and tell him he's smart enough to not go. Russell would have put him straight off. But now, Antonelli well on the curb the inside. I've never seen driver. Antonelli's going to try around the outside of turn 3. Russell's got to cover it. Russell has to cover the move out of the exit of turn 3. Antonelli knew to back off it because Russell's not leaving room. That lent Russell was actually wide on the exit of turn 3 covering that. But here comes the scrap between the Mercedes drivers. Antonelli has quietly gone about this and closed that gap rapidly. This is working for Hamilton. This is working fantastically for Hamilton. So I'm replying to somebody who's asking me about the strategy. With Merckx scrapping, this favours Hamilton. This might be the best chance Hamilton's had to win a race. Brooklyn boys manager now rushing to early pit for a contract next year. I don't understand how Anthony has closed the gap that quickly on him. But the thing is, did Antonelli use boost that lap, or whatever it's called, use more energy, more boost that lap to close the gap? He definitely did. Russell upped the pace to a 22.8 that lap, but Antonelli even following did a 22.6. Kimi being reminded of track limits. Of course, he has had the warning. And next track limit, for Kimi Antonelli, is going to be a penalty. Back to the main straight now. He's a bit further away. 7 attempts. This is going to be a lunge. Nearly 8 attempts now. He's not going to have the energy. I think he's saving this lap, Antonelli. He's not going to make the move into turn 1. But he's all in the mirrors of George Russell. This is exactly not what Russell needed for the confidence of Russell, for the momentum of George Russell, to have Antonelli's teammate close the gap to him and then fight for the lead. Again, focus on Hamilton now. He's now just 11 seconds off the 2 Mercedes drivers. Now, if they're holding each other up for the next 3 to 4 laps, Anthony Boy get excited and not race managing. There's a part of that happening, yes, but then at the same time, I'm not sure. I do think maybe there's a chance he is doing that, but for anyone who wants a Ferrari and Hamilton win, this is great. You want Anthony to keep doing this because Hamilton's got the gap down to 10.5 seconds off the lead, and if he can close that more, they all have to pit one more time. Hamilton's fully in it now, absolutely fully in it, and I thought Norris's pace would be a bit better considering the pace before the stops. He was matching Antonelli. He's dropped off a cliff now, nearly 4 seconds behind Antonelli. That right tyre on Kimi isn't looking great. The thing is, the front right is Hamilton team radio. Hamilton asked you to catch them. You are catching them, Lewis. Well done, mate. You are catching them. I'm kind of feeling a Hamilton win here because it's a Ferrari. I could do with a Ferrari win. Verstappen watch. He's in 7th. He's now behind. Oh, of course, his slow pit stop putting behind Piastri. Hashtag blame Kim. Yeah, Verstappen's slow pit stop putting behind Piastri, so he's 8 seconds off Piastri now. Just an update on that one. This is interesting. I thought Leclerc would pit early as well on the hards after Hamilton did, but Leclerc's did as well, so it's just Hamilton who's opted for that extra stop. He's got the gap now to 9 seconds to the lead. He needs these 2 Mercedes drivers to scrap more. That's what Hamilton needs. For Hamilton's chance to win, he needs these to scrap more. He's closing the gap on Norris. It's 3.8 between Norris and Hamilton. But the camera, he's watching, and I guarantee on the screens, he's watching Antonelli and Russell, hoping. Mercedes just called the racing off. What they say on the team radio? Antonelli's radio. Let's not slow each other down. Oh, boring. Boring. Get out the sport. I mean, it was obvious. I did expect it to happen, because it's what they do. Look what happened. Look at the nightmare of McLaren last year when they weren't calling off the racing. So they're just going to sit there now because they've seen the threat of Hamilton. He's got the gap to 8.4. They heard what Ferrari's did. Yeah, I mean, it was. I did expect it. I still think they should be banned from the sport. I still don't think the pit wall should dictate when drivers are racing each other. I think get rid of it. I liked the days where the team orders were effectively banned, but for some reason they got reinstated because the sport is run by wimps. But Anthony is still within half a second of Russell going onto the main straight. Oh, he had a slide at the last corner. That was to keep himself at track limits, otherwise he was going wide. Norris is going to pit this lap. That's going to free Hamilton in third place. Anthony's closing on George Russell into turn 1. He's too far away to make a move, but he's showing himself in Russell's mirrors. That was clever, Anthony. I like when drivers do that, showing yourself in the mirrors. So you see, Russell's got to pit soon as well. He has to. But now where's Hamilton? 7.5 seconds behind the two Mercedes drivers. Of course, they all have one more pit stop. That might have knolled it now, actually. Kimi doesn't care. He wants to win. That's true. Ban the radio. Bring back just pit boards. They're going to pit Russell first ahead of Antonelli. Then that makes sense because Russell is the leader Mercedes. Russell is the leader Mercedes. But I want to see what Kimi does here, because I don't think Kimi's actually settling there. That's good. I think that's going to come with attack later on. Ben, you celebrating yes. I'm guessing you're celebrating yes to ban the radio, or has something happened in the race? Are they going on hard? Are they going to try to do 30 laps on hard tyres? Because they won't make it. They won't make it 30 laps on hard tyres. Radio needs to go. Well, it's needed for some things, but get rid of team orders. The hard tyres will not make 30 laps. So are they four-stopping? This is odd. This is very odd. Hamilton's got the gap down to 5.8 seconds now to the lead. Russell is pitting this lap. Anthony's going to go around and probably do one more lap and pit the next lap, you imagine. This is odd, these pit stops. Lap 37 and they're going to be 2-3 stopping. I can't see how the hard tyres are going to last 30 laps. That one just did 24 laps. I cannot see how they're going to do that. Pit Antonelli now, I imagine. Look at the smoke coming off of that as they take the wheels off of the brakes, unleashed all the heat. Just checking the gas behind. Verstappen's doing 7th. Norris 6th. Norris is going to close Piastri in, but Piastri going to out of the way. 4 stops for some guaranteed. Yeah, I think so. I can't see how the hards are going to make 30 laps. Antonelli will have to pit now. Absolutely, Antonelli has to pit this lap. Hamilton. The thing is, Hamilton's already done 9 laps. Oh, this is interesting now, the strategy. Hamilton's done 9 laps on those medium tyres. So by the time Mercedes pit and come back round, Hamilton's going to be, yes, in the lead. But then Hamilton's going to pit earlier, which means on the last 20 laps, last 15 laps, Hamilton's going to have the oldest tyres if the others stop again. Oh, there's a cover Norris. I'm surprised they're thinking about Norris, actually. That surprised me. If they don't pit Anthony now, they want Brill Cream to win. I can't believe that's the name now in the chat. They'll pit Anthony now. They have to. But again, I don't see how the hard tyres are going to last 30 laps. Piastri is just pitted to go on hard tyres as well. Anthony box. Here comes Anthony. I mean, you had to. It was obvious they were going to pit a lap after Russell. It's 20. How long is an average pit stop here? Has anyone seen it? Because he's 21.5 seconds ahead of Russell, who's in traffic. Russell's got to clear Behrman, and that's why they're watching Norris. He's 2.5 behind Russell, but Russell's got to clear Behrman, which he's just cleared in the third sector at turn 12. That looks a bit awkward. Coming out of turn 13 to turn 14 now. So this could be a bit closer than they wanted between Russell and Antonelli. Coming down the straight. Where's Antonelli going to pit? Oh no, Russell will be clear of Antonelli because of the speed difference. But there's Antonelli. He's going to see Russell past him. They tried to feed Antonelli into Norris. Yeah, they're covering Norris. I know that. And actually, they're right to do that. They had to, because look at where Lando Norris is. They absolutely had to do that. They said in the radio, we have to cut. But Norris could go around the outside of turn 3. If Norris has got anything about him with the tyre temperatures, oh, he's just too far away, though. He's absolutely just too far away. So Mercedes did the right thing there, actually, to pit the leading car first. How on earth has this turned into quite an interesting race? I know, I don't like it. But this is what happens when the Pirelli tyres don't do 60 laps. When you bring in strategy, this is what happens. This is why we like strategy. This feels weird. I know, I don't hate it. I don't hate this race. I hate the fact that Verstappen's in sick with no pace to his name. But, you know, next year he'll be at the front of the Mercedes. You've got to be patient, all us Max fans. However, this is what happens when you bring tyres and temperatures where they wear, and you have to look after the tyres, not the awful Pirelli tyres that last 60 laps. Look at why I like strategy. This is the exact reason why I like strategy. I'm a Max fan. Ben, we're all a Max fan here, but we just got to be patient this year because he's not going to get higher than 5th. As sad as that sounds. He's not. It's going to be the first year since 2016 he's not got 2015. He's not going to win a race this year. We got to deal with it. Norris didn't. Oh, that's awkward back marker turn 12 again. But Anthony's already built the gap to 1 second. I even got the hat. That's true. Ben, who didn't used to be a Verstappen fan, did buy a Max Verstappen hat recently this year. Gas currently leading the race. Gasly is leading the race for the BOTR trophy up the Pierre. Colapinto actually ran behind it. It's battle for the Alpine for the BOTR trophy. Leclerc's pitting now. I expected that in. Now we have to watch what Hamilton does, because Russell and Antonelli are going to lap over half a second, between half a second and a second. No, I didn't buy it. I got the hat and t-shirt for my anniversary from Claire. Oh, Claire knows what she's doing. Sorry, they were shouting on Hamilton's radio. They're very excited on the pit board of Ferrari. They said the next 7 laps are critical for their race, and it's their moment. It could be, if they nail the next 7 laps on these mediums, it could be their race to lose after the final pit stop. So this is fascinating now, what they got done there. Absolutely fascinating how this has ended up in this situation. Wow, I did not expect this. Did not expect this. The thing is, I want to see Antonelli's only 1.9. There's no guarantee, actually. Russell hasn't dropped Antonelli. The gap is still just 2 seconds between the two. Russell down the inside of turn 12 of the Ferrari. That's brave from Russell. Good move from him. Very good move from him. He had to do it. He had to make the move on Leclerc. Leclerc was costing him time in that twisty almost section between turns 10, 11 and 12. He had to make the move done to clear Leclerc, to build that little gap to Antonelli. It did. It did build him. How many attempts did he build to Antonelli? Another 2 or 3 attempts, which could be crucial. Good move from Russell. Yes, Leclerc was pitted. He was going to pit anyway at the end of the lap, but Russell's not wasting time. In other news, Toyota's about to win Le Mans. Let me see how much time left. 2 minutes. Actually, running me at that. Thank you. I need to look at that. Can we quickly mention about WC return to Silverstone next year? I want to go because I just want to hear the Aston Martin V12 and not these donkeys of an engine in the F1 cars. 5 retirements. Who else retired? Alex Albon's retired. Road trip stand. I mean, Silverstone is not a road trip, is it? It's 2.5 hours up the road. Who's the other one to retire? Oh, it's a yellow flag. Is it? You're about the yellow flag, Pav? Both Aston's got... No, not Nando. Safety car. Safety car. Russell's forecast will be battling Lewis at the end of the race on the 3 stop. Stopped at turn 9. It's Fernando Alonso. Safety car. Anyone fancy a safety car with Spruce? From... Oh, actually, do we want a safety car? I don't think we do. Oh, Nando's inside of turn 9. Can we call that an engine failure? Yeah, we can. Also, when did Albon... I just noticed Albon retired. A VSC! Oh, interesting. If they put it... That Hamilton could pit. No, he's just gone past the pit entry. Hamilton has just gone past the pit entry, so he can't pit. He's missed it. If that happened 10 seconds earlier, he would have been fine to pit. Oh, Alonso's front left brake is about to catch fire. Aston Martin, you are correct. They're not going to make the line before the 1 minute thing. He's going to have to do an extra lap now. But it's going to be the number 7 Toyota to win. But I mean, yeah, anyone who's behind the pits who hasn't pitted yet has to pit. That will be Verstappen. That will be actually the only one in that group to pit. Let's help Verstappen now, actually, because he's going to come out ahead of Leclerc and Piastri. He will get caught by them. 12 seconds. If Hamilton was just before, if this stays out long enough, Hamilton can pit and come out ahead of the Mercedes. Oh, that could be an unsafe release by Verstappen and Red Bull into the path of the Haas. Could get away with that one. I think there's enough room to evade it. I will not spoil, but I might... Why? What's happened? They have to pit Hamilton. Leclerc's out ahead. Verstappen's come out ahead of Leclerc. Verstappen's come out ahead of Leclerc. So that's good for Verstappen. You work it cool. They have to pit Hamilton now. For the first time in my life, I'm a huge Lewis fan. Yeah, they have to pit Hamilton now. This VSC is still out. They have to pit Hamilton because he's going to come out ahead of the Mercedes drivers with like a 3-second buffer. You can see he's on the radio. They have to pit Hamilton. Pav says Lewis is in. They have to. This is Hamilton's race to lose. The Kim Kardashian effect is having a hell of an effect on Lewis Hamilton. I'll give him that. Fair play. Toyota are on the final lap of Le Mans, but they're going to pit Hamilton. They have to. This is Hamilton's race to lose. This is Hamilton's pace to lose. Absolutely Hamilton's pace to lose. And Antonelli is going to be right to the back of Russell as well. But what tyres? Who knew F1 needed Kim K? Honestly, I take back all the comments I made on Kim K. Hamilton's coming at the pits now. He's going to be ahead. And you know I'm not a Lewis fan. Even I'm rooting for Hamilton. Always right in the back of an Alpine. Even I'm rooting for Hamilton now. Where's Russell on the... Are they coming? He's coming out on the straight. Hamilton's coming at the pit exit. He can use full speed on the pit exit. He's going to come out in the lead. He's going to come out in the lead. Hamilton is in the lead. I'm not a Hamilton fan by any means, but even I'm a Hamilton fan today. Get that Ferrari on the top of the podium. And he's lead. The safety car's ended as soon as he comes at the pit exit. That's not worked for Mercedes at all. Hamilton, this proof you. Everyone says you're the greatest of all time. You got to prove it now and get him pull away from these Mercedes. The VSC has now ended as soon as Hamilton came out. I love the excitement on the Ferrari radio. You are in front. I mean, if even Ferrari couldn't mess that pit stop up, it was the most obvious pit of all time in F1. Having red on top of the step is good for F1. I agree, actually. Well, we need red on top of F1. Doesn't matter who's in the car, it has to be red. This is Hamilton's race to lose now. He's got a 2-second buffer to Russell. They ended the VSC as soon as Hamilton came out the pit exit from going full speed. So he only had to go on the VSC delta limit for turn 1 and 2 and a bit of 3. That's worked out. That could not have worked out better for Hamilton at all. My brother's complaining. My brother hates Hamilton more than any of us. He's complaining. You know, he's spitting blood in that helmet. Absolutely spitting blood in that helmet. But he's already lost 9 tenths. Russell doesn't have the pace. He doesn't have the pace. He's lost 9 tenths to Hamilton already. Antonelli's closing him. And he's putting the gap. Yeah, Russell's not got the pace. If I'm Hamilton, the one you want to watch is Antonelli. He's the one. Dustbin down the Williams, man, Pav. I just saw the picture. That's brilliant, that. Get that everywhere. Max with the fastest lap. Show me the purple name next to Verstappen's lap time. Well, see, I'm sorry, I was listening to the comments. Can we all agree that Merck have to pit again? I don't know. I really don't know. Hamilton's 3-stopped as well. That's incredible. I don't know if Merck have to pit again, because there's less fuel now, so there's going to be less deg with the less fuel. So the car's going to be lighter. I just heard Brundle's comment that it's another safety car's gone against George Russell. Sorry, Russell should have had the gap to cover it, but he hasn't had the pace on the Sunday. He got caught by Antonelli. That's on Russell, mate. But yes, it was an unfortunate safety car time for him. I get that. But who said the order was interesting? I'll give it to you. I mean, the VSC helped. I'm not going to give you 100% praise. But Hamilton and Ferrari have done a hell of a job here. I don't agree with Toyota won Le Mans. I missed them across the line, but that was quite a dull last 20 hours of Le Mans. I can't know. BMW second, though. Fair play to BMW. But yeah, I can't really agree with Brundle's comment there that it hasn't gone Russell's way. Yes, it was great timing for Ferrari and Hamilton, but Russell had the gap and lost it. All we now need is a charge Hamilton. No, I don't want Hamilton number 27. Let's not go that far. I know you why you're saying it, because the 27's on the Ferrari. It can't be him. Maybe Mercedes do have to pit again, but Russell that lap was 3 tenths off. Actually, Anthony was furthest off as well, so they don't have to pace to Hamilton right now. Joe's going to be kicking himself the most, not George Russell, because he's still ahead of Antonelli. It's going to be Leclerc. Leclerc is going to be absolutely kicking himself for crashing in Q3, because he was faster than Hamilton throughout qualifying. Swap Russell with Kimi and watch Kimi catch him. That's what I'm intrigued by him. Russell's not going to do that, though. It'd be insane if he does that. Corvette, I think, are going to win the GT3 class. Yeah, they are. Corvette are going to win the GT3 class. Fair play to him. I'm going to turn Lemon off now. My brother said it's not a Ferrari win, it's a Hamilton win in a Ferrari. He hates Hamilton more than any of us. Oh, if he was in this chat, that'd be hilarious. Mum's told me to stop laughing. Is she falling asleep during the only semi-interesting race of the season? I'm not surprised. This is fascinating. Russell doesn't have the pace. And I think he's actually holding Antonelli up now. Hamilton fastest lap of the race, a 20.1 by Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, this is his. This is his to lose. This is his to lose. It's the Kim K effect. The Kim hashtag thank you Kim K for Ferrari winning. When was his last win? Was it Spa 24? See, look at you now claiming Pav. You said P1 was P3, right? Just saying. What he was a good shake, literally. Has Lewis gone too hard on his tyres early? He's on hard. He shouldn't have, really. Hairline Joe, shut up. I don't know, because as I said, the cars are going to be lighter now with less fuel. Wow. If Hamilton wins this, he moves ahead of Russell in the driver's standings into second. That is, I think, embarrassing for Russell. That's going to be shocking for Russell. But the gap's pulled. Hamilton's pulled 4.5 seconds. And Russell's now holding the gap to Antonelli. So this is getting worse and worse for Russell, to be honest. I did not know he drops down to third in the standings. Is he already second? No. Surely he's not. Is that something that I just didn't know? Oh, he is already second. Oh, that's embarrassing for Russell anyway. Oh, so George in the bin. Albon still racing. Why? He's 10 laps down. Why have they just sent him back out? I didn't know Russell was already second. There you go. It's even worse for him then. I don't know why they put Albon back out. He's 10 laps down. That's something interesting tactic to do. Again, it's a test session now, isn't it? He's put him on hards. Whatever they do. Williams makes some odd decisions sometimes. Very odd decisions. Yeah, he's got to drive a Formula 1 car, I think. The gap to Anthony's 1.8. So Anthony's lost the pace advantage he had on the old hard tyres when the tyres were wearing. Probably to avoid some kind of penalty. Yeah, I don't quite. A 14-minute lap time. 14-minute lap time by Albon. That's interesting. What tactic they're deciding to do, but here we are. If it's to avoid the penalty, if he now pits straight away, it'll be to avoid the penalty. Hamilton at 20.3, Russell 20.7, Anthony 20.7. They're not near his pace. None of them near his pace. It's been since 2021 since Hamilton won a race. Am I right? No, you're well off. He won a couple in 23 and 24. I think his last win would have been Spa 24 and Russell got disqualified. No, I think he won Spa because he got disqualified. I remember Russell won Spa and then got disqualified because he had plank wear, and then Hamilton won. But it would have been 2024. He won 2, I think. But he's pulled the gap now to Russell to fight. Is Russell back, Marcus? No. Russell they don't have pace. None of them have pace. Hamilton's pulled the gap to 5.5 seconds. Is he pushing? Yeah, he's part 24. Yeah, I'm right. Is he pushing? Russell's 5.5 behind. Antonelli's 1.7. Lando Norris is now 1.5 behind Antonelli. The Mercedes are struggling for pace. I haven't stopped eating an entire bag of Baby Bells, trust me. Probably. Either way, how nice that the last Ferrari win wasn't even there, can't drive it. Yeah, Sainz won Mexico 24 was the Ferrari last win, so yeah, it was Carlos Sainz, wasn't there. I want to know where the pace of... Oh, Anthony's just taken a nice chunk out of Russell there. It's now 1.4, it was 1.8. This is fascinating, where current pace, Verstappen best pace for P2? Have a laugh. He's in P5, he's been caught by Leclerc. I don't quite know where they got that stat from. I don't agree with that one. He's on mediums as well, and then mediums aren't going to make the end. Brill Cream Boy will only close the gap to the 12-year-old by 3 points. I don't think he's going to stay in front of the 12-year-old, being Antonelli. For people who don't know who we're calling the 12-year-old. I don't think he's going to keep the gap to the Antonelli at all. It's 1.5, so he's holding it now. The Mercedes pace has gone somewhere, because Norris has got back within 2 seconds, 1.8 now, within 1.8. So I'm fascinated to see where that pace has gone. I also want to see what happens with Leclerc and Verstappen going around turn 4. Verstappen's leading Leclerc by 1.5 seconds. Leclerc that lap half a second faster. You can see the pace the Ferrari is there. Leclerc would have been up there with Hamilton if he didn't make a mess out of Q3. Question, if you had the power, would you swap Russell and Kimi for championship points? It should not. It should not be in the team's hands to do that. I hate that sort of thing. Don't swap. If you're good enough to win a Formula 1 title, you're good enough to pass him on track. I don't like that. Hamilton yellow flag infringement, no further investigation. I missed it. It was under investigation anyway. I don't know what that's for. We're only 1 retirement away as well from Pav's prediction of 6 retirements. Look at that though. Breakdown. How sad. Perhaps Lewis is wearing Skims today. Special edition. Merck pitted earlier, need to make the end. That's what I'm intrigued by. Same as Norris. I don't see the stints last and the starters back. So I'm thinking a lot. The stint happened again. The stint lasted on the hard tyres like 23 laps or 24 laps maximum. To make the end now, they're going to have to do another 17 laps on already. They're going to have to do a 30 lap stint on the hards. 6.6 was gone on Russell. No, because Kimi's pace isn't there either. Kimi's just lapping a tenth behind Russell. It's 1.5. But then before the pit stops, you remember Kimi was able to stay within half a second, 8 tenths of Russell quite comfortably. So I think they've just lost the pace. Behrman's making a move on Bortoletto down the straight for 3rd or 14th or 15th. Exciting into turn 1. Solid race for them. Albon's still going around, so they're doing some weird test session. Good for them. Both Mercs have fell off a cliff. They have. Our race is having better pace over the whole stint in the cars ahead. I mean, Norris is running with the team so he can push and then risk sliding more or make the end on those tyres. So Norris is saying if he pushes on these hard tyres, he won't make the end, which makes me think if Mercedes push on those tyres, it won't make the end. So it's going to be even more comfortable for Hamilton. The gap is 7 seconds. Mercedes have nothing. Norris could get 3rd. It depends what the Mercedes do now. This is where the interesting thing is. That Russell, I think, is now starting to hold up Anthony slightly. Anthony's got within 1.3, but Russell's pace, if this is Russell holding pace to make the end, yeah, 7.9. This is Hamilton's race now. It's Hamilton's to lose, clearly. It's to lose. He's done a hell of a job to get there. I'm intrigued of what Mercedes are doing with their pace, because if they're saving their pace to get to the end, and the others are pushing the hard tyres, one, is that smart or is that risky from them? I mean, the only way we're going to see that is if they pit again. That's what we're waiting for now, because their pace is slow compared to Hamilton. It's half a second a lap at the minute to Hamilton. That's slow. Leclerc is holding out at 1.7 behind Verstappen as well, but Verstappen's pace isn't exactly good. It's matching. I say exactly good. It's a couple of times a lap quicker than the Mercedes. That shows the top 6, top 7, the Mercedes cars are the slowest. Yeah, a 21.3, a 21.2, Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc, Piastri, all 21.1s. Apart from Leclerc, 20. The only drivers at 20.8 are both Ferraris. Hamilton 20.8, Leclerc 20.8. Leclerc's going to be kicking himself for making a mess out of qualifying. Anthony 1.1 behind George Russell now. He needs to make that move on Russell. Norris is coming with him at 1.4. Norris is doing a hell of a drive as well. Fantastic drive from Norris to stay with him the entire time. So I'm listening to the commentary. Norris, they're praising Norris. He has done a hell of a job. He's got within 1.3. Anthony lost time that straight, actually, weirdly. He lost the 2 tenths to Russell down into the last corner down the main straight, which is fascinating. The gap is 1.3 between Anthony and Russell, 8.4 between Hamilton and Russell. Is Hamilton pushing as well now? I don't think Hamilton is. I don't think Hamilton is. Mercs have definitely made the call for Russell and Kimi not to fight or to get close. Yeah, but by doing that, they've gave Hamilton the win, I think. By being conservative, they gave Hamilton the win. I think that's what they've done. They've been very conservative there to not cause an inter-team rivalry. But if you're Antonelli, go and make the move. You've got the gap to 1.1 again. Go and make the move, because even by doing this, Norris is still catching them. I think they've said, yeah, they've. I think they realise how much they lost by not letting the cars race. But at the same time, they were in the sticky situation where they would have lost time if they were racing each other, because it would have been Anthony passed and Russell would have had to pass him back because of, he wouldn't have accepted it. But I'm surprised they've gifted it like that. Interesting to play out. Hamilton 20.9, Russell 21.6, Anthony 21.3, Norris 21.2. Russell's just slow, isn't he? Because even before the pit stop, Russell was slow, about 3 or 4 tenths a lap slower than Anthony. Russell is just slow. Anthony's got the gap down to 6 tenths. Of course, he's in the overtake mode now. He's going to lose some tenths in the first 3 to 4 corners. Here comes Kimi. Kimi just needs to stay in that overtake mode. To say basically DRS, stay within the second to get the overtake boost. He's lost 3 tenths already in turns 1, 2, and 3. So I think Russell. Yep, I said it. Swap it. Do not tell me they've gone on the radio. Oh yeah, of course Kimi did. But Mercedes aren't going to do it. Mercedes aren't going to do it, and neither should they. Nor should they. I mean, if I'm Kimi, I'm doing the same radio. I'm screaming down the radio to do it. But Mercedes can't do it. They can't do it. You do have more pace, but you got to pass him. Just think how much fun it's going to be when the first 4 cars are all going to get 1 or 2 engine upgrades, and the team running 5th and 6th get none. It's funny that the team who is currently 5th and 6th, yeah, exactly. That's incredible to me. But I did see that it's not made official yet because Red Bull have appealed it, which I'm not surprised by because they're baffled by that. There's clearly a loophole. Russell's been told to pick up the pace. There's clearly a loophole in the review of the engines and what Mercedes and Ferrari, how they're being reviewed, clearly, that Red Bull haven't done. That's the only thing that makes sense to me as to why Red Bull will come out on top as the best engine. There's clearly a loophole in there. That's been exposed. Anthony's got the gap down to 6/10 to Russell now. This is fascinating. This is really interesting. Pav's done ... Wait for this radio. Am I not going to be thrilled by it? If they ask to move over and Russell does it, then that Russell is signing his Mercedes career away. Like, end of. Norris radio. Oh, McLaren little whinge bags, aren't they? Lando, it's quite clear Anthony's been off the track more than 3 times. Reported it to the referee. Or FAA, I said referee because it was funny. Oh, Kimi looked like he was on the limit there at turn 10 exit. So McLaren expect Kimi to get a 5-second penalty, but nothing's come up. It's a VAR. Here comes another. Yeah, extend the race. Extend the race with VAR time. Interesting. So then, if you let Antonelli pass and maybe build the gap to Norris, no, because you won't be able to. They don't have the pace to. Hamilton's 10 seconds ahead. This is entertaining because I don't like seeing Mercedes run away and dominate. Zach runs the world. Yeah, well, I mean, McLaren in it. Norris is right. Yeah, Norris has closed it to 1.3. Oh, I say closed. It stayed at 1.3, but nothing is gonna change if Antonelli doesn't try and overtake Russell. What's the interesting thing now is the only trigger that can change the race result is if what these two do now, what Russell and Antonelli do, and what Mercedes do with them. Because I can see them. Nothing's come up to warn Antonelli that he's been off track, and there hasn't been a team radio since Bono warned him about 15-20 laps ago. So it would not surprise me. They've told Russell to pick up the pace, and he's pulled the gap to Antonelli to 1.2 seconds this lap. I think they're just sitting there to hold Norris back. But if Norris passes Antonelli, then you got another conversation happening. Verstappen's pulled the gap to Leclerc to 3.9 seconds. I don't know how. I'm going to guess Leclerc's made a mistake somewhere or got held up in back markers because I don't know how Verstappen's doing that. 21.2 on those medium tyres is a very impressive lap time by Max. He's got to do another 11 laps on them though, so I don't see that working. I don't see how Verstappen's going to make the end on those medium tyres. Just clocked it. Don't see that happening at all. Where's the darling Kendi gone? He's jumping up and down now because Ferrari winning. That's all he wants. Is a Ferrari win. He's fine with whoever's in the Ferrari as long as it's winning. I think Mercedes is going to sit there because clearly by sitting there like this they can hold Norris behind. Actually, Norris, they're all dropping pace now. Anthony 1.2 behind Russell, Norris 1.4 behind Anthony. They're all dropping pace. Hadjar's recovered 8th. The next car to get lapped is Hadjar himself. How far away are they behind Hadjar to lap him? Where is Hadjar on the track? Oh, they're actually not. Why is Hadjar all the way down there? What's he been doing? I know he got held up at the start, but he's a long way behind than where I thought he was. Piastri's pace is staying at 22.2. Again, he's just lacked. Verstappen again, another 21.5. Leclerc 22.0. Can't see Verstappen's tyres making the end, though. Poor race by Audi. Every race is a poor race by Audi. But we have these engines because of them. Effectively, so you can thank them for that. Thank them for doing that, and they stinky. Antonelli's interesting. You can see the onboard. He's holding his head like this at the fast right-hander, so he's knackered. His neck's gone. 11.3, 1.4 now. Either Anthony's backed off or Russell's picked up the pace. Yeah, Russell's picked up the pace. He'll pull away from Anthony now. I have a fear that that's going to be the end of the exciting action now in the race. Or interesting action. No, yeah, Brundle's just said he's resting his head now. Yeah, it's obvious. Yeah, Kimi's neck's gone completely. Brundle did point out, even in the slow corners, his head is being pushed this way. So maybe it's a fatigue thing. I'd be surprised though. "12 seconds they get Hamilton." I mean, he's still got tyres left. He's done 12.0 compared to Russell's 12.5. So Mercedes just do not have pace on these hard tyres. But both of them don't have pace, which is even more interesting. Fascinating. But Hamilton's got it covered. This is going to be, without anything weird happening, a Lewis Hamilton race win for Ferrari. That's how it's going to be. And they deserved it. They were decent. He did a head of a lap in Q3 yesterday to get on the front row. Leclerc, I keep saying it, Leclerc's going to be kicking himself because he'd be up there with him. But again, he made a mistake in Q3 in a crucial time, stuck in the wall, started 10th. So it was just Hamilton against the two Mercedes. What they've done in the race, Ferrari and Hamilton, is they've kept clean and they've executed their plan perfectly. Hamilton was able to follow them perfectly. They pitted at the right time. Yes, the VSC helped them. Leclerc, I don't think he's overrated, but he's underachieving, purely underachieving. Yeah, they used the VSC to their advantage. Time, yes, they're the fortunate side, but last win Spa 2024. God, I know my stuff, don't I? But they used it. They had to use it. They came out in front. They've done everything perfectly. Sometimes in racing you need that bit of fortune, but I don't have that they went against Russell because Russell had the gap at the start and then lost it before the VSC came out because Kimi was all over him. Speaking of Kimi all over him, Kimi's got the gap down to 1.5 to 1 second again to Russell. Norris has dropped more to 1.8 behind now, so I think Norris has maybe hit the maximum of what he can do following the Mercedes. Anthony, I'm surprised how Anthony now can't get all over the back of Russell. I think they've been told to stay there. I really do. Or Kimi's one knackered on the neck, and he's careful of track limits, which of course he was clearly gaining some time by extending track limits. But they're all taking very different lines at turn 11. Anthony's on a much wider swinging line in the sense that George Russell was much tighter. Anthony's at 9/10 coming to the last corner, so he is going to have the overtake, so we'll close it. Wolf definitely called it off. Yeah, 100%. 100% called it off. Was Anthony within a second to get the overtake advantage down the main straight? I think he was, so the gap's down to 7/10 into turn 1, so he would have been close enough. Kimi's closing and dropping. He's trying to maintain a gap to Norris, but not to get... Yeah, I think they've made a plan here, Mercedes, to kind of settle like this. Because look at that, 22-0 Russell, Anthony 21-9, Norris 22-2, Verstappen at 21-5 last lap. Go on, Max. Your mediums are still going. He's pulled Leclerc by 6.7 or 22-4 by Leclerc. But Max has to go to the end on those mediums because if he pits now, he's going to drop behind Leclerc, behind Piastri, down to 7th. He doesn't want that. This has worked perfectly for Hamilton, perfect for Ferrari. Ferrari got the strategy right. Pitting early was the right call. I slated the soft tyre strategy. Would it have worked without the VSC is the question. That's what we want. That's what I'm intrigued to know. If it would have worked. Driver of the day is pathetic. Get that vote off my screen. I don't care. Would it have worked without the VSC? I'm not sure because I think Mercedes would have had more at the end. Then again, look at the pace now. Maybe Hamilton would have caught them at the end. But it's funny, the 3-stop is working. No, VSC was the reason for why. Yeah, the VSC put Hamilton in front, but I think in the last 10, 12, maybe 15 laps, Hamilton, I think, would have been about 4 or 5 seconds behind the Mercedes. But look at the pace, what they've shown. Hamilton could have closed that. So that would have been a very, well, for the ones who are rooting for Hamilton and Ferrari, a very stressful last few laps to watch him close that gap. Ferrari giving a suggestion to Hamilton, who swiftly ignored them, told him to leave him alone. Anthony again got the gap down to within a second. It's like 8 tenths. No, he gets it down to 6 tenths, 7 tenths into turn 1, and then through turns 1 to 5, he loses half a second nearly. That's a fact of dirty air, that really, isn't it? So he's got it's now 9.5 tenths, just under a second. I can't see him making a move on Russell. Russell, I think, needs to make a mistake for something to happen now. Norris has dropped right off 2.6 seconds. Norris did say he can either push to try and keep with him, and his tyres will go, or he sits back. Whatever one they've chose. Hadjar in for softs. Why? I mean, they've got a 43-second gap to Gasly behind, so makes sense, doesn't it? That's a huge gap between 8th and 9th. Gasly still winning the BOTR trophy, by the way. He's cleared Colapinto by 11 seconds. He's got that Joe Hadjar. Another nice lock-up into the pit lane. $21.8 by Verstappen, 22.2 by Leclerc, 22.7. Piastri's got nothing. Piastri has absolutely nothing. Norris 22.4 is slow. Anthony 22.0. Russell 22.2. Anthony closer into turn 1 there, 4.5 tenths. I was watching like corner of my eye, but again, it's not enough to make a move. But again, he's going to lose a half a second at least, maybe, in this first sector alone. So this is interesting. Russell might be just holding him and then deploying and harvesting when he knows he can. But Anthony's close to this lap, only 5.5 tenths through turn 4. This is fun. Anthony might be making a save there to make a late move on George Russell. Piastri pace equals Van Buten. Literally. He's had nothing all day, all weekend, Piastri. He's like 23-2 the lap, but he's not being held up by back markers. He just doesn't have pace. Antonelli wants this second, I think. I think he's coming again for a second wind. The gap is 6 tenths coming out of turn 9 onto the back straight into turn 10. This is Alex Marquez had this big crash a few weeks ago. This exact corner. He's going to be on Russell down that home straight. This will be one to watch for turn 1 now. He's going to be on George Russell through turn 12, through turn 13. He's well within the overtake mode. Yeah, definitely racing for second. He's well within the overtake mode. He's going to get Russell into turn 1. Russell's not going to have an answer. It's 3 tenths coming through turn 13 into turn 14. He's well within George Russell. Has Russell been harvested and Kimi deploying more? But he's well within Russell. He's going to use the overtake mode down the back straight. He's in this slipstream. You can see him eat into that gap to go over the line. This is going to be about 200 miles an hour, maybe 195. Russell down the inside. Russell's, late defensive. Almost put Kimi on the grass. It's a strong move from Kimi. That was naughty by Russell. Kimi Antonelli down the inside of turn 1. He passes George Russell. Probably swore. Kimi's got damage in his front wing. Kimi's front right end plate is damaged. For some reason, I don't know where he did that, but Kimi definitely swore an Italian at his teammate. Russell now into turn 4. Kimi defensive. Russell's controlling the outside. Russell has to maintain this second gap. Russell, they've got to keep your temperature under control with Russell. That was naughty in the home straight. Daddy Toto Wolff wouldn't have enjoyed watching you do that, but Kimi's got damage on his front right end plate. I don't know where. Russell now got oversteer in the entry in turn 5, and now he's got to deal the dirty air for the first time. That was an odd. Antonelli went on the inside early on Russell, early. And Kimi decided to push him late when he was already side by side with him onto as far as he can to the right side of the circuit. The drinks are on me, boys. The drinks are on you. That's very true. But this is not good for Russell. You're just signing your Mercedes driver away, George, mate. You really are. But no, he's got 5 laps to get the energy he can for his engine and then try and come back to Antonelli. But I don't think he's going to answer him. Look at the pace. Hamilton's pulled 17.5 seconds to the Mercedes boys. Now, Russell's got no pace. He's dropped between 1.3. Russell's got no pace. Russell's got no pace. I want to see where Antonelli's got that damage from with his front end plate, though. But this is not a good show. It's come off now. His end plate's come off. Antonelli's end plate's come off. I don't know where he did that. But I saw down that straight, it was hanging on weirdly. But now he's got no front right end plate. Clearly doesn't make that much of a difference. Why are you saying stand like that? Why are you saying OMG? Don't scare me like that. Don't scare me like that. Why are you saying OMG? Why are you saying OMG like that? I'm behind. What's happened? Why are you saying OMG like that? If you've done this for nothing, you're screaming OMG. Antonelli radio. Kimi's broke down. Kimi's broke down. Coming out of turn 5, Antonelli has stopped. He's broke down. I called it at the start of the race. The Mercedes power unit will go pop, and it's Kimi Antonelli at turn 5. I called it. Wow, that's fast. Another Mercedes. It's a good engine, but it's not reliable. It's another Mercedes engine that's gone pop. We said, boys, let's just point out, by the way, Leclerc stopped as well. Leclerc slow out of turn 3. Verstappen's 4th. Can we have one more retirement and Verstappen gets the podium? But Leclerc stopped as he gone off track. Leclerc's got gravel on his tyres as he spun. I don't know if Leclerc's spun or gone off track, but Kimi Antonelli has broke down. Russell back up to 2nd. So again, the championship fight now closes up. Leclerc team radio. He's lost power steering. So Leclerc's lost hydraulics. Kimi Antonelli has lost power. This is going to be a late safety car. So VSC, they're all going to pit. Then Leclerc's lost power steering. That's why he went off. That is fascinating what's happened there. Russell, this is funny. The points Russell lost in Canada, the racing gods have done him a favour now with Antonelli out of the race. People slating Leclerc. He's got no power steering. Yeah, his power steering is gone. Yeah, his hydraulics died. Wow, I'm getting a load of messages now coming through. I mean, if your power steering dies, you can't do anything. That's what I'm saying. Verstappen's up to P4, right? 6 retirements. Yeah, you're correct now. Absolutely correct. Can we just point out, lads? We called 6 retirements. You lot called a Hamilton win. I called a Mercedes engine and Mercedes power unit, and I said Kimi's going to break down. All 3 were right. Happens to be the day we don't put any money on what's happening in this race, but all of our predictions have come true. Big us up for that one. But now this is interesting. So the points Russell lost. Leclerc retirement, yeah, it can be 7. I put the drinks away, I'm afraid. Yeah, too late. The tab's already on you. You're too late for that one. That's fascinating. We are knowledge. We are power. We are speed. We are knowledge. They've told Hamilton to stay out. What? Why? Because it's only VSC. Why would you keep Hamilton out? That's confusing. Why you do that? I thought they'd all pit. Can't lie, I thought they would AWP it. Wow. That's an interesting end to this race. So the points Russell lost, Russell has got to be, he was swearing at the racing gods in Canada. You got to be thanking them on your knees now for what they've done for Antonelli, and they can't move the cars. That might be the race done. If Russell breaks down now and Max is the podium, that's funny. But Max P4, it's just what we want. Max coming up the points. Well done. Gasly's winning the BOTR trophy. They won't green flag this. No, I don't think they can. If they do, it'll be a lap. Russell's got to be thanking the racing gods for that one. But they're all going to be worried about the Mercedes power unit because yet again it goes pop. And I've been saying, I'm glad my prediction was right. That's quite funny. And let's be honest, the championship battle needed it. Kimi's won 5 in a row. He was pulling away. And this has put, for all the Hamilton Ferrari fans, this has put Hamilton a lot closer now to that. Can someone figure out what the points is going to be in the standings with Hamilton winning and Kimi scoring nothing? The gap was 66 points. So it's 41 points. I mean, it's still quite a hefty gap at the front. But 41 points is more entertaining than 66. Kimi side of the road for the first time. I said before the race, Kimi's the only one out of the top Mercedes power unit leaders to not have a breakdown and miss points this season due to a reliability problem. Now it's happened. Antonelli out. Leclerc out of the race with a hydraulic problem, losing power steering. It's going to be a Lewis Hamilton win for Ferrari. Russell's going to rescue second. I thought his pace went off a cliff after lap 15. Intriguing, but he's lucky there. Very lucky. Norris is going to get third. I think Verstappen's going to secure fourth on those medium tyres. Up the boy. Up the Max. We fight for P4 now. Lap 65 out of 66. 2 laps left, lad. I'll say it. This has been the best race of the season, easily. And this is due to strategy. And this is why having Pirelli tyres that can go... This is why... Sorry, I'm reading a text message right now. This is why having Pirelli tyres that go 60 laps is not suitable. You need strategy involved in Formula 1. Because that's when races like this happen because of the effect of different strategies. Hamilton 3 stopped early and look what's happened. This is a message to Pirelli. The Spanish fans are clapping Hamilton. This is a message to Pirelli to make your tyres less, make them more vulnerable. Make the wear more. You need strategy in Formula 1. You need strategy in racing to make entertainment happen, especially with the weight of these cars. If the weight of the cars were lighter, you wouldn't need as much strategy because the racing would be better. But before an all-British podium, oh God, it is. I didn't even clock that. But because you have the weight of these cars and the racing is affected, you need strategy involved. It says Norris is 3.5 nearly behind Russell. Why? Is that? I'm guessing that's just the gap has not updated since the safety car. That was. But also, where did Kimi knock his end plate? We never saw an answer to that. This is going to be a Lewis Hamilton win, and it's a fantastic Lewis Hamilton win. It's his first win in Ferrari, and it's a Ferrari top of the step of the podium. We all need it. We all need a Ferrari top step of the podium. Seb said it about 10 years ago. Everybody's a Ferrari fan. We're all Ferrari fans. You need Ferrari in the top. Hamilton's about to put them back on the top. He's 19 seconds, going to be 20 seconds clear of George Russell in second. George Russell forced it for second and Norris third. That's going to be your top 3 unless something weird happens in this last lap. So I said that a few laps ago. Something weird happened with Leclerc and Antonelli, so we could get in the last lap. The race isn't over until you cross the line. Last Ferrari podium was Carlos Sainz. No, last Ferrari's win was Carlos Sainz. Yeah, Mexico 2024 was the last Ferrari win. I'm going to do it again. You can hear the crowd clapping Hamilton. The Kim K effect is real, lads. The Kim K effect is truly, truly real. Look at that. Good on him. He doesn't need more in life, really, does he? But he's going to do it. Everyone knows I'm not the biggest Hamilton fan, but he's done it there. You cannot fault him for this drive here. He was superb on Saturday, especially in Q3. He's been superb today. Ferrari have got their calls right as well, which is rare to see. We love a Ferrari on top. We need a Ferrari on top of the podium. Formula 1 needs a Ferrari on top of the podium. And we've got, I know my grandparents are jumping, or my granny's jumping up and down right now because it's a Hamilton win. I imagine a lot of people are jumping up and down right now. I might join him because it's a Ferrari on top. You cannot hate it at all. Hamilton is going to win the Spanish Grand Prix by 20 seconds. He's going to win his first race for Ferrari. He's going to close the gap to the top. He runs the final corner. Lewis Hamilton does win the Spanish Grand Prix. Easily the best race of the season. Stunning drive from Hamilton. Stunning from Ferrari. There's not going to be anyone who's complaining about that. A lot of you call Lewis P1 because things have happened to Mercedes. I did laugh, but things happened to make that happen. Strong drive from Hamilton. Mercedes, again, the power unit going pop. We're going to get the dramatics down from Hamilton. You waiting to see that? I can't. You all want to see the tears from me. He's going to give the dramatics. George Russell comes across the line in second. A rescued second for Russell. If you can't be happy with that, Norris in third. There's going to be Verstappen's going to come home in fourth, a lonely fourth, but Norris to secure an all-British podium. God, look at that. Granny doing the hula hoop. Yeah, I bet she is. Good race, very good race. Verstappen does come across the line to secure fourth. Piastri a very lonely fifth. Gasly's going to get the BOTR trophy for best of the rest in seventh. He leads Colapinto right now by 13.5 seconds. Fair play Hamilton, fair play to Ferrari. It's what the sport needed. The sport needed another win. The sport needed a Ferrari win. We're now going to get the dramatics. Get ready for that. I could do without, but we're going to get it now. We know who it is. But you can't fault me for that drive. You can't fault Ferrari. They're the laughing stock when it comes to strategy, but they did everything they needed to that race. Russell again forced it. If I'm George Russell, you came second, but you can't be happy with it. The pace wasn't there. You got done by Antonelli almost twice. He had pole position. He lost the advantage early. So I'm listening to the team radio for Hamilton. That's all the Italian he knows. How many retirements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 retirements in the end. God, these cars are not reliable, are they? Yeah, they were superb today. Pav, you're correct. Hamilton and Ferrari, superb today. Superb today. The sport needed it. The sport needed a Ferrari back at the front. Also, we'll take a Max P4. It worked in their favour, but they had to deliver it though still. It didn't all work in their favour. The VSC worked in their favour. Hamilton put the car there in position to take advantage of it, which is what people can't ignore. And it was there from Q3 onwards. And when he took the lead, you weren't catching him. Listen, any real Formula 1 fan will not complain. You can hate the driver wherever you want. You cannot complain at a Ferrari being on the top step. He would have done it without the VSC. I think so. I think he would have closed the gap without them, in my opinion. He would have been. I reckon he would have been 5, 6, maybe 7 seconds behind, and I think he would have closed them. Would he have passed them? Probably. He had the pace. Machete time. That's awful. I actually enjoyed that one. That's odd. How can we right? Everyone here, let's just appreciate that was a Formula race a Formula 1 race that we actually enjoyed. I called it a hate watch. I started it as a hate watch, but this is why it needs strategy, lads. It needs strategy. You need the Pirelli tyres to make them think and not go to the end of the one stop. Look how more entertaining the races are when it's not a one stop. When it's a 2 and 3 stop and people can do different things. # realistic hate watch. Hell yeah. The most interesting thing of all is what the hell happened to Mercedes. Their pace died on the hard tyres. Well, Russell's did. Kimi had the pace, I think. Hang on, I've got a 30-second ad. Are you not subscribed, Scott? If you subscribe, you don't get the ads. Everyday Trey. Oh, Trey, I knew you'd pop in. Trey, you've missed it. Even I've said superb from him. Superb from him, superb from Ferrari. A good race as well. I've been saying now, you need strategy involved to make the race entertaining. The smarter drivers come out on top. Superb from Mercedes. No idea what happened. Tyres that don't last 66 laps is the best way to race. It is. Tyres that last maximum 30 is what we need. Maximum 30. Oh, here comes. Okay, here come the dramatics of Hamilton. I called this would happen. I'm going to let him do it because I said it was a superb drive from him. Hide your hairline when you take the helmet off. Sorry, I saw a video yesterday of him doing that and it made me laugh. Right by the way, it's right where the camera is. He knows where Hamilton knows where to do it. Come on, commentator. Hamilton knows where to do the dramatics. But a Ferrari on the top step of the podium, I will not moan ever about a Ferrari on the top step of the podium. No, shocking, innit? A day you'd cheer a Hamilton win. That's what happens when you're a Ferrari. That's the effect it has. But they really need to look at that race, and Pirelli and F1 need to go back and discuss. We cannot have one stops. We cannot have one stops at all. Love that for Max. Of course he went there. That's what he does. P4. Russell, you should be embarrassed, I think. I think you're very... It's interesting where his pace went. Absolutely. Where did Russell's pace go? Because his pace dropped more than anyone. And he was fortunate that Anthony broke down and stopped. His pace disappeared from lap 20. And then when they went onto the hard tyre, lap 15 maybe, when he went onto the hard tyres, gone. He had nothing. Antonelli would have passed him twice if he went for the VSCs. So Hamilton, there's the Kim K effect, and since he stopped using the simulator, he's an old school driver. He's got an old school mind when it comes to racing. It doesn't work well in the simulator. And now look at his form since he stopped using the simulator. Second, first. It's the bunda. It's the bunda in the simulator. Look at Ferrari. Oh, I like Ferrari on the top. There's no way Brooklyn will beat Mercedes. Not a chance he'll beat Mercedes next year. His pace was nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. What an odd race. What an interest. My whole podcast is gonna be about strategies now, because it needs to be. Someone followed Yakez7. Thank you for following. Again, awful timing for following. Did you just miss the entire race? Every race without the sim, he's done well. That's what I mean. Since he stopped using the sim, he's come second. Second in Canada, second in Monaco, first in Spain. I'm more interested in what happened to Russell's pace there, though. I mean, it's the rare occasion where Hamilton doesn't put a foot wrong, and Ferrari don't put a foot wrong. I wonder if Alonso doesn't use the sim as well, because he's definitely got an old school mind, Hamilton, which is why he struggled with the sim in the past. Bloody hell, Ocon's tall, isn't he? Jesus. I know he's tall, but when you see him next to him, it makes it even worse. Hamilton win, Ferrari win, Max P4. Of course, Nico's doing an interview. Listen, Nico tried to interview on the grid. The Nico Rosberg, I think, should get the praise for winning that, because the one time he tries to interview Hamilton on the grid, Hamilton wins. That's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. It's the Nico Rosberg effect. He used to have an effect where you spoke to him and broke down. Now you try and speak to him and he wins. He looks knackered. He looks absolutely knackered. He's not to his mere. Hamilton's less than 6. I think Hamilton's like 5'8". He's saying Ocon's a mere 6 foot. Ocon's taller than 6 foot. Ocon's got to be taller than 6 foot. The last all-British driver podium was the 1968 USA Grand Prix. God. Compared to Scotty's normal size. Anyone, listen. Scott's a freak in nature when he was high. Ocon's 6'1", Hamilton's like 5'8", I think, which is why the height difference I think was so mad. I mean, it's a win he'll remember. It's a win he'll remember the most, purely because 6'1", same sort of shot. Shut up saying 6'1" short. You freak. This will be the win I think Hamilton will remember the most. He's at 106 of them now. He'll remember that one the most because it's in the red, because it's with Ferrari. Leclerc's going to be kicking himself more. Okay, the hydraulic fault wasn't his fault, but qualifying was his fault, and starting down the order was his fault. And he's going to be kicking himself more that since he's been teammates with Hamilton, Hamilton's the one that's picked up the win. Oh, Russell's not going to admit that it was not a good day for him despite finishing second. He should be confused where his pace went, in my opinion. Right, what I put in Instagram, I put an actual good race. Can never complain with a Ferrari win. I put that very small in the corner, like a little rat. Why isn't Russell mentioning the 12-year-old overtaking him and he got lucky? That's what I'm saying. Russell, I think, should. Yes, he finished second. Well done. Wasn't a good day for him. Russell looked around to blame other things. British culture, isn't it? Let's be real. Russell, to me, doesn't look very comfortable there, though. Because he knows. I think he's lost that. If he's going to lose that drive. Russell trying to blame anyone and everyone. Again, it's the culture. Yeah, look at Russell's. You can watch it. Look at Russell's body language. That's the body language of a man who's being defeated. He's thinking he had no pace there. He's realised he had no pace there. To Hamilton, to Norris even. Norris was there the whole time. To Antonelli. Antonelli caught that gap and passed him. Would have passed him twice. I think he believes he's not going to have that seat next year. Weak from Rosberg not mentioning. Yeah, but the thing is, these are not the interviews here to go into those deep. A good journalist asks these questions in the press conference, not in these ones. These interviews are pointless, to be honest. It's just for TV. He's not comfortable because he knows his contract's flying far away. Yeah. Absolute fact. Absolute fact. Did I go into the story? It did. There we go. Ferrari, 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 Ferrari. Gotta love Ferrari. You can never come. Anyone who complains at a Ferrari winning Formula 1 had the wrong motives. Should I change the title actually of the stream? Because I called it a hate watch. I'm going to change it because I actually didn't hate that. I hated that Max was nowhere. 40 seconds off the lead Max was in the end. But secured P4. Not 1, 4. Clapping Kim's cheeks, yeah. It's the effect, mate. It's the absolute effect. Hashtag make F1 great. I still stand by. Let's get the training. Hashtag make F1 great again. We're going to keep saying that until the engines are out the window. Yeah, but where he said Mercedes have great pace still, as you can see, so the fight's not there yet. But what happened to Mercedes or Russell on the hard tyre? That's what I'm fascinated by, because it didn't just fall off a cliff, it dropped drastically. Hashtag make F1 Kim again. Oh god, okay, fine. Yeah, sod it. Hashtag make F1 Kim again. No, we need another one. What do you mean Kim again? That need to change that. Make F1 Kim. My brain stopped there, as you can tell. Can we just tap ourselves on the back, firstly? No, Ben, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I knew it. As soon as I mentioned it, I knew something that was going to come up. I have a suspicion something was said to both George and Kimi. Yeah, but to do that in that situation is odd. Then maybe that's why they didn't want Kimi to push. And when Kimi did push, he broke down. Hell of a drive from Hamilton. Hell of a drive from him. And Ferrari didn't mess up. Beautiful stuff. Beauty, 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 beauty. I'm reading it from here, but F1, just watch along. Not mad at it. It's the first time I've left an F1 races this season not mad at the sport. That can be entertaining, but the fear is now how many races How many races are we gonna have where the tyre wear and the tyre diggers like that, where they have to have strategy involved? That's my fear. Is how long can they keep that up for? Or are we gonna go back to another one soon where it's just dull as dishwater? Thoughts? Is my full face thing still working? No, the camera's gonna be all over the place, isn't it? I cannot be asked to deal with that right now. Well done, Lewis. Well done, Ferrari. Needed it. The sport needed it. The sport really needed it. Man, look how silent they all are in the cool-down room. Oh, eerily silent. That's very odd. No. Hashtag make F1 great again. LA's tasting the winning, it could be dangerous. Potentially. The interesting thing was that what was I saying? No, for God's sake. They just noticed Kimi's front wing damage, and no one knew. They think Leclerc finished. That's interesting. They think Leclerc finished. Interesting. Interesting. What's the next race? What's the next track? Is it Austria? Yeah, but at least you said 6 and it was 6 or more. Do you know what I mean? So I'd say big ourselves back up, big all of us up on the back. Kimi Antonelli breakdown. I've predicted it. That's point for us from me. Pav said 6 retirements. It was 7, but we're going to give it because it's 6 or more. It's Austria. Oh, I love Austria. Is it next week or is it 2 weeks? I feel like it's 2 weeks. Yeah, Pav said that. You all predicted Hamilton win, and I was like, if something mad happens to the Mercedes, then sure. 28th says 2 weeks. That was fun. It wasn't a hate watch. I started off as a hate watch. However, lads, thank you for joining again the Apex to Apex podcast for the Sunday watch along hate watch. You know what I'm going to do now. It's time for the plug-in game. There will be a podcast coming out reviewing this race, and then after that is Silverstone. Bye bye, you Is it Silverstone after Austria then? Oh yeah, makes sense actually. Early July. No, Pav, I'm gonna play Bond. Simple. This episode will of course go up on the YouTube channel, so will the next week's podcast episode when I record it on Monday, maybe on Wednesday. That'll go up on Spotify and YouTube, so make sure you follow Apex to Apex podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Give them both a subscription. The live streams, of course, we're live stream always in the week for one day or one evening, and then we're live streaming on the weekends for MotoGP and Formula 1. That's going to carry on going it. Make sure you follow and subscribe to the Twitch account Apex to Apex Pod. And thanks for joining, lads. This is the first time this season we've had fun. We've had fun today. Let's just remind ourselves. We enjoyed today. We had fun today. Next weekend, we are back with MotoGP, which is at Brno. Can't wait for that one. We're coming off a Marc Marquez return win as well. So that'll be next Sunday and Saturday, and next Saturday, because I'm not working next Saturday. The sprint race and the main race streaming on live stream. Again, Apex Pod on Twitch. Give that a follow and subscription. You'll have the podcast midweek on Spotify and YouTube, Apex to Apex Podcast, and the Instagram account, Apex to Apex Podcast. Feet pics, Pav, no. Thank you. See you later, lads. Joyful time. Where's the ending screen? Bosh.